Hey, welcome again to another episode of Cardboard Conversations. Tonight is purely pure MTG. That's right, it's me, you, and Bob. All we're going to do is talk about Magic, other trading card games, a bunch of other random stuff, and then some other things as well. If you like that kind of thing, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe so you get notified when we do this again. Now, Bob, I know as far as Merge of the Machines, so far this has been a really interesting product. I think there are a lot of really cool cards in here. I think the Multiverse Legends cards in there are a pretty cool addition, especially with all that artwork. Have you been excited about those cards? I know we did our pre-release last night. Were any of those cards making it into your new decks? Are you looking for any of the other singles out of it either? Also,
No.
What up to our audience? Hey, Benson.
No.
Short and sweet. I like it.
I mean, that's what I had to say about this set. It's just not.
It's not tickling your fancy, huh?
It's just not.
Big old raspberries, huh?
It's not for me. It is not a. Thank you.
I get that.
Dr. Blake said, engage with the products that.
Right. Yeah. Get the stuff you want to get. Don't get the things you don't.
And I mean, clearly with the, pre-release kit that I opened last night on our game, the game's telling me to go F off. So.
And
it's
funny.
It's funny because you got like 7 mythics.
I was just going to say, I got more than the number of packs in mythics. And
right?
It was just astounding.
I got none. 0.
Bob and I were...
Every pack is guaranteed to have a mythic. There are 3 of them. That's Slimefoot, the one that I got.
Yeah, Slimefoot and Squee.
Which, was good for playability for the game, but outside of that, it was like, woof.
And it was an absolute blast getting to play with Prime last night. He's always a big entertainment value. I am a huge fan of interacting with Dennis. He's super fun, very real. He doesn't put on the face.
He's a good dude. He's just a good dude. I learned that when I was out in Vegas.
That guy is Prime. He puts the Prime in Prime 406.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is. And I know he was insulted, and I feel bad because I wasn't trying to. So I was trying to pin down, what each of the special things that our circle of content creators tends to offer the community. And I was like, nothing specifically when I'm talking about like production quality or unique content, but it's his personality, right? And everybody that bumps into the guy can't help but wanting to be his friend, right? Like you want to watch him; it's infectious. Like I watch him put together Legos. I watch him playing video games. I watch him when he talks about Magic. I watch him when he painfully opens product. It's just...
Yeah, well, that's Magic in general. So I recorded a short just a little while ago, and I was trying to upload it to the Pure MTG channel. A little bit of technical difficulties, and I apparently deleted the wrong video. And it's no huge loss because I was opening a Magic the Gathering booster pack.
Nice.
And you could pretty much just expect a huge loss instead.
Yeah.
No, but it's always super entertaining, hanging out, talking with Prime and everybody else from the community. I'm really glad to start, building up a bigger and bigger audience and interacting with so many wonderful people.
Well, I want to try to stray away from like the financial aspect of Magic at this point because I feel like a busted record, right? That there's not a lot good that I can say about it, folks, and I don't expect that worm to turn anytime soon. Like we all say it, but this is what it means when we say it's a big ship. It turns slowly, if it turns at all. At this point, they've given no indication that they're going to turn the ship in a better direction. It's just not. It's not in the cards for Magic at the moment, right? That they're stuck on this course. I don't think they're going to change until they have to, right? Kind of like a fat person like me. You don't stop overeating until you get diabetes, and then you have to. And even now, I'm still kind of eating poorly. And it's a very good analogy of what they're doing. It's unhealthy for the game. It's unhealthy for them as a company, and they still keep doing it. And there's really not much to say about it. I don't care what the sales numbers are, right? You're leaving stores investors with heavy bags that are just depreciating assets at this point. So I don't want to talk about that too much. I do want to talk about like what we did last night, and I would like to make that a more common occurrence and involve more people like Stefan there in the audience and Benson in playing events like that. Those, do I have one here? Yeah. So I got this one for DJ asked me to do the same thing on his channel tomorrow. So we'll see how he hasn't contacted me yet to see how that's going to go. But I like that concept, right? It's pretty low entry point, like $30. So even though I got kicked, in the hoo-has yesterday financially, I had a great time. $30 for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a sealed event for 30. My store's a little bit higher, 35 for a pre-release kit, and even at that, I had an absolute blowout of a good time. And on top of that, I was lucky enough to pull some really valuable cards. So I was just feeling blessed to be able to have that kind of fun with you guys. So I'm a huge proponent of doing that kind of stuff. And on top of that, if you guys weren't aware, if you're not a patron, we were actually kicking behind the scenes a little bit of talk about doing some pre-release events from sets gone by, actually. Yeah. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, let us know. I'm a huge fan of Ikoria. I know Prime, he too, same thing. And Bob, boy, oh, he knows the power of an Ozolith and a Triumph. And I think having a pre-release event with that well after the fact would be really fun. Things like that, even going back to Theros Beyond Death, all sorts of other sets. It would be a really fun way to look back at sets.
Well, I agree with what Benson's saying, and I'd be willing to do that. It's just that, a pre-release kit is a known quantity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if people want to start buying boxes of things, like a box of Ikoria, and we could do that for like 4 or 5, let me see, there's 36 packs in Ikoria? So you could do that 6 times out of one box, right? We could essentially get together, do a 6-pack, jam it together, open them up, and make decks and play. That's the kind of stuff I want to do with the community, right? I'm trying to offer things to the community, trying to build this in the community, that we're doing things that are sort of Wattsification proof, if that makes sense. Wattsification. Let's define what Wattsifying something means. It means when they find something that has any degree of success, they just hit it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it and keep hitting it until they drive all the value, all the fun, and they drive the people essentially away. And I know people call me kind of poopy pants and wet blanket to a degree. And it's because of my fear, right? It's because I'm afraid, my insecurity, that what they're doing is harming a game that I have enjoyed for 30 years now. And I would hate to see it go away. That's the real intent. And I'm like, stop it. Stop doing the bad thing. Like you're putting Gatorade on your crops here. Stop it. It's that's where it comes from me. And that's what I see. And I'm fairly decent at analysis. Let's hope that I'm wrong. But let's try to find ways that we can make it fun regardless, that don't involve us dropping fat stacks of cash on depreciating, losing assets, because that seems to be essentially what's been going on.
Oh, this is interesting. Not too bad. Look at that. So Ikoria 4 pre-release kits, 115. So 120 out the door. That's not too shabby at all. That's $30 a piece. That's actually better than what I paid for March of the Machines.
Well, and what we could do,
I like them for 140.
I like Benson's suggestion.
Oh my goodness, look at that. So Ikoria pre-release, 6 of them, 36 draft packs, $140. This right here is actually cheaper than buying an entire draft booster box.
Is it? I don't think so. I think Ikoria dropped down to like 120. We'd have to look at that on TCG Player. But either way, it doesn't really matter how we get the packs, right? And if we just get together as a community, that's what I really want to try to do. Is whatever way, whether you get a pre-release kit or if you get 6 loose packs, however you want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
And start doing things. Not just me. I hope to like. I don't want this all to be on my shoulders. I don't want to be the central organizer. That's not my jam, right? I like ideas. I'm
No,
lazy
you're
as
right.
shit.
Yeah.
But I want that kind of thing to take off. That's why I wanted to give commander raids when we talked about it initially. Because you and I have been talking about this whole idea of
Oh my God, for well over a year at this point.
playing, the game as it was designed. Not just cracking a box of Commander Legends, but actually getting together with some buddies and playing Commander Legends Draft. Playing Jumpstart the way it is, rather than, hey, look, I opened 36 packs and got these 6 rares. Cool. I want to get away from that game, the crack the packs and aren't I special, to that way. Even if you get a complete shit box like my Baldur's Gate, how much more fun would I have had cracking that box of Baldur's Gate
and turning cards sideways? Yeah,
right. Like if I had just cracked those packs yesterday for value.
No way. A Crimson Vow kit is $20 on Amazon. There, that's
but again, you could get
a
probably
sealed
Crimson
environment.
Vow. Yeah. What's a Crimson Vow draft box, right? So you could get 6
but
6 games out of it.
I kind of want to get that fun of collecting those life counters, the spin downs. So I've been playing a lot of Trelasara lately. I was playing a game earlier. My Trelasara, I played turn 2, never got killed or taken care of. It was a 76-76.
Nice.
So I needed a whole lot of those spin down counters. They are really helpful. Instead of a D&D D20, you actually get the numbers in a proximity to each other. So it makes it a lot easier if you're counting up. And man, I think going back and going through a bunch of other sets, going back and visiting and doing the excitement of a pre-release kit itself, I think there's something special about that. And as we have seen very recently in March of the Machines, some printings of products have different collation of cards, much like the March of the Machines bundle. These seem to have almost a 75% plus pull rate on the list cards. So sometimes in pre-release packs, it seems as though you can also get a really good value when it comes to pull rate. So I'd love to spend some time going back and kind of evaluating sets gone by.
I could show you the pull rates on that box from yesterday if you'd like. 0 mythic.
Oh yeah. The
0 mythic box. This box, what's in here
that
for
was
value?
A tough one. Yeah.
There's probably $5 or less in this $30 box, right? But I got my money's worth by cracking and playing it with you guys yesterday, right? And that's what I'm talking about. And this is the quintessential example of what I'm trying to get at. Right, if you're cracking and you just feel bad, like look at my Baldur's Gate box, look at this box, and
my God,
I opened 2 my Rex LB1 boxes that were just a kick in the teeth. My complete bundles were complete shit. Had I opened them and played, I would have had more fun. I don't want to say that like with the bundles I opened with Sherry Vegas. Actually, she hit some heat, but when I open stuff with her, it's fun to just do something with her. And much akin to like what we did yesterday, the financial value is not in the box, but the fun value was sure as shit there yesterday. Wish we could have had 4. I'm sorry about that, Prime. I thought I had more interest than I actually did. And we're going to have another one coming up with Brody, Alfonso.
Phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of him.
Sometime. Yeah. I haven't nailed down the details, but I'm glad. And DJ invited me to play on his channel. That's what we need to be doing. That's the kind of stuff that I want to see us
build.
We generate the fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens with overprintings and reprintings and price drops and price spikes and value. What matters is getting together, smashing some cards together and turning them sideways and playing with each other. And it's not even in a tournament setting. So the salt factor is really fairly low. There's no prize support here. And I don't want to make it that way. Some people had suggested that, and I'm like, nah, that's going to be a feel bad if you just got like crap and got ganged up on. And it's just, I'd rather keep it in the fun vein than the value vein, if that makes sense. I think that could be healthy for the community. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know down below. Do you think that a bit of prize support is something we should start including with our games? And that's certainly not an issue. Between the 3 of us, We've got all sorts of goodies to hand out. If that's the kind of thing that would entice people in, I would much rather that people are playing games with us because they would really like to get in and turn some cards sideways, not because they're going to get
brain.
I mean, do you want to get some shit etched foil? Like, what's the point of that? Like, I'm not going to spend $1.99 to send you 50 cents worth of cards. Like, I don't think you're going to be happy. Like,
I want to thank Ed for showing up, and then I want to poke him and publicly shame him and have other people poke him. So he'll actually come play with us. I keep poking him. I'm like, come play. I want to force you to have fun, Ed.
Yeah, right.
And you too, Stefan. It's been too long. Last time we played anything together, it was called putt and not Magic. So let's do this. Get a camera rig and set up, and let's play some spell table and turn cards sideways. We'll play on the same team. We'll do Commander Raids. That way we're winning together. I love it. I absolutely love it. Favorite way to play Magic, bar none. But
yeah, I played some Commander earlier. I stopped over at my buddy's house. Our pod got together. In 6 hours, we played 3 games of Commander, and it was something else.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Commander. I was like, you obviously didn't play Commander Raids.
No, oh goodness, no.
I don't think you could make a game last
EDH.
2 hours.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if you could make a Commander Raids game last 2 hours.
So we had
turn 20 or something. How would you?
We had one game where someone was playing a landfall deck. On turn 2, they played Scute Swarm. They ended up with over 1,000 Scute Swarms. Someone was able to kill it. Oh, it was just so early. Yeah. And then turn 4, they ended up having like 2 insects and a couple of Scuties. And it was just like, cool, this is getting dumb. So somebody threw out Wedding Ring, and it just got really dumb with card draw. I countered someone's spell to stop them from stopping people to card draw. 2 people were forced to draw 52 cards. So, boom, same time, 2 people drew themselves out. It was just ridiculous. I ended up walking away from the table like 4 times just so I could go outside and vape. I was like, I need a break. And you don't get anything like that in Commander Raids. It's a very streamlined play experience. There is no try hard attitude. I do like that.
Some people try hard.
Yeah, it is true. It is true.
Some people will try hard no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it is certainly a format that's inviting to go, well, okay, cool. Let's just shuffle up and do it again. Right? It's awesome. I love you too, Sherry Vegas. And by the way, Sherry Vegas, I guess I have to say why. She got me a birthday gift. Actually, 2 birthday gifts. One was called Near Mint Revised Bayou, and the other one was called a Near Mint Revised Plateau. So thank you very much, Miss Sherry Vegas. I love you. Getting close on completing a set of dual lands yet again in my life. It's been it's been over 25 years now since I've had a complete set of dual lands. So that's very exciting, and they're very minty fresh, and she takes her time to learn about cards. And I wish that all of you could find somebody else that is your Lego piece that snaps in just right.
Yeah. I get it, Bob. You're happy and she's wonderful. I'm jealous.
And I am.
No, she's an absolute catch, man. Like,
oh yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Good stuff. I mean, so if you guys didn't catch it on our live stream the other night, Sherry treated Bob. Man, oh man. I cannot believe how good you got it going on right now. What is it? Envy, not jealousy. I wish I had something similar in my life. You know, somebody to treat me as well as you got going on. And that's one of the things is make sure you got good people in your life and people around you in your life. And that's part of the thing about community.
Lance. Speaking of beautiful people.
You know, when we stop by and we check out what Rip and Ship's got going on, and he's got hundreds of people watching him, you know, putting wind in his sail. That's a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait until we get Lance on again, have some great conversations about MTG and other TCGs in general.
And he always has a very kind of unique take on Magic, especially compared to to people from the outside. I mean, you
Oh
will
my
be very
goodness,
hard pressed to
absolutely.
find anybody who has ripped more wrappers than that guy.
Mhm.
I mean, he knows like the sets inside and out, the nuances,
Yeah.
the idiosyncrasies. There he is. There's our buddy, everybody's pal, Prime 406. How you feeling tonight, buddy? You are on mute.
I feel much better. I slept all day.
Hey man, sometimes that's what you need, you know.
I'm a little gross, so excuse me, but yeah, I feel better.
Nice. Funny, you don't look any better. But
A couple beers will change that.
Yeah, right. I'm actually doing the
here.
coffee and vodka thing, so I'm gonna
gonna
get
say-
extra excited for all evening. Oh yeah,
Lifesavers, dude. Straight up.
Yep.
Electrolytes, they're good for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's the
Hey,
Twiddler.
and we got Twiddler this evening.
Wow,
Holy
full house
moly.
tonight. We must have done something
Wow.
right. It's got to
Yeah,
be Prime.
we are
I told
rocking
you.
and
I told you,
rolling.
everybody wants to be Prime's buddy. That's his
That's the
magic
thing.
power.
Yeah.
That
It is my magic power.
That is his offer to the world. He is. It's always a pleasure to. I talk with Prime behind the scenes. I play with him. Giggity.
Giggity.
Oh my god. I sometimes have to block him from all the pictures he sends me.
And I enjoy it. I sincerely do enjoy spending time with Prime ever since Vegas. I mean, just
That's why I
kind of
was
bro
like-
love.
That one night really got me going. I'm like, man, we had such a great time in Vegas. What the hell, bro? And then, it just bothered me for a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I want to be this guy's goddamn friend, damn it. Let's find out what the problem is.
Prime is. I've never
man.
not been your friend.
I know.
You've always been Prime to me. You know. You're
Also,
not
it's funny, I-
406 in my book.
It's funny, and maybe I'm the fortunate one because I seem to like people a whole lot more than they like me.
Well, it's like,
So I
where's
guess
that
I'm
guy
lucky
I met
in that
at? Where's
exchange.
that guy I met at Vegas? Where's that guy? That
I'm
guy
right
was
here.
fun.
It's the same guy. I never
Well,
changed.
so you kind of it gets buried in a level of poopy.
Well,
Ooh.
since
You know what
now
I mean?
to say since Vegas, to be fair, things have happened like fireside chat.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
the entire climate has absolutely changed with the
I have had
addition of peripheral and ancillary products over and over, reprinting gone galore. I would absolutely say within every 3 months in the last 6 to 9, we have had a huge change in environment in Magic. Absolutely, Bob. Between the last time you got to saw Prime and the next time we get to hang out, it's going to be a big change just between Vegas and Gen Con in Indianapolis. The market, the entire landscape is going through a huge change. And I wonder what your anticipation is over the next 2 or 3 big sheddings of Magic's previous iterations.
me or Prime.
I would love to get both of your ideas on it. I
Well, I
can't
mean, first, I think we have
imagine
to
what it's
define-
going to be in the
Kind of define what that means, and I believe you, Ed, and I think Ed that what you're pointing out. A lot of people point to M30.
Mhm.
It's M30 can't have that much of an impact. It's too small, right? And it
Very
had
minute.
too little reach.
That's what she said.
do much.
Yeah. Jesus
So
Christ.
it's more like the fireside chat was a public admission of shenanigans. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to point to specific words. I had a whole thing for a show.
Right. It was
trying
the
to
most
brag-
corporate way to show guilt without being, red-handed.
Well, they didn't even show guilt. They just said, "Yeah, we're bend over. We're going to put it in your pooper, and you're going to like it because this is the way we roll. I roll with 12 gangs. They don't give a shit." Is what they said. The fireside chat said, "I don't give a shit. I'm watching. I'm going to reprint this into the dirt and steal all your money for all your collections." That's what we're going to do.
more or less. Yep.
So
I'm going to fuck you
I have
and you're
been
going to like
very-
it. Yeah.
With
distraught.
no lipstick.
I've been very distraught, and unfortunately, it's like if you're not on part of the hype train bandwagon, people tend to look at you like, "Oh, you're a wet blanket poopy pants," and it's like, I just call them like I see them. When it's good, I'm like, yay, hey, this is great. And when it's bad, I'm like, hey, this sucks. And I can't help but just saying it like I see it. Take it or leave it. That's the way I roll. But the next iteration, I mean, I think we need to define it. And what I think that's going to happen is going to be post Commander Masters. I really do believe that Commander Masters is going to be a watershed event. The price points between that and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is really kind of leading up into it. With a huge price point. And then Commander Masters is going to be the coup de grace, where people are like, I got no more monies, and I'm not getting shit in value out of these boxes. That's going to happen over the next 2 sets.
And then after that, people will stop.
Yeah, but I mean,
right?
I was going to go there, but I was going to define first, what are we calling the next sort of turning point era change in because it happens so fast now.
So for me right now, this 3-month cycle in how Magic is fucking up. So this quarter, the quality dip is in serialization. I think from Brothers War until now, and going ahead for at least the next 3 to 6 months, serialized cards are going to be the hot new. I refer back to it. I want to refer back to a conversation that Bob and I had very recently, where he actually said serialized Jeweled Lotus. And I was like, well, why the fuck not? Why wouldn't Commander Masters have serialized cards? That's the new thing. Every set should have serialized cards. Oh, and fuck around with their frame too. Let's make that extra special. Yeah, right, Prime. You can't say I'm wrong. You just smile at how right I am. And I wish that was wrong,
because it's true.
Right. And
like, so I think that past him anymore at all.
I think that was,
they're always hold my beer, watch this shit. I'm like, I ran out of fucking hands to hold your beer, Watsy. Now I'm just throwing beer.
More hands. I got no.
Yeah, you're drinking too much. Yeah, like you're drinking 6 beers. I've got 2 hands. You've got 2, and you're going Freddy 40 on it and just like pounding house. There is a huge change in Magic. I think the last 6 months we saw the showcase or variants as the huge draw, and then the rare chase cards. Previously, like the Kaladesh inventions and invocations with the specialty Hidetsugus, things like that. And now we get into serialization. They are doing everything they can to artificially drive value into cards. The most prolific and specific example I have is a 1/1 Lord of the Rings One Ring. How can you make a card more expensive than that nowadays? There are standing offers for 6 figures on this card in the same ilk of an original Black Lotus. That's phenomenal to think that they can push that kind of value into a product when nobody wants to buy the product. Like, there are so many people saying, I have nothing that I want to do with Lord of the Rings except for that mild chase of getting something that's serialized, whether it's the soul rings, for the dwarves, for the elves, for the humans, or the chase for the One Ring. I wouldn't have anything to do with the entire product line of Lord of the Rings if it was not for an Amazon mispricing on gift bundles like 2 months ago.
So, I mean, just count me out on all that, especially the chase, the way that they're doing it. I'm not going to chase anything. If I get one, great. It's not like I'll be like, oh, hey. But if they're, correct me if I'm wrong, but the pull rate on the 1/1 One Ring is announced at like 0.0003, which I believe is like
1 in just over 3 million.
Okay. Yeah. So if that's the case, that means there probably has to be 3 million packs. Divide that by 12, whatever that comes out to for boxes, divided by 6 for cases.
I hear a calculator.
But you have...
Oh, no, that's my keyboard.
That's your keyboard.
You only have 1,900 serialized soul rings. Now, just because there's 1,900 times greater chance you're going to pull a soul ring than a 1/1 ring, your chances of pulling a serialized Soul Ring are akin to the Neon Ink Hidetsugu.
It's 250,000 boxes, Bob.
Okay, so divide that by
God,
1900.
that's $250,000.
Yeah, a quarter million boxes. Divide that by how much?
Well, no. Divide the packs, because we know there's 1900. Divide 3 million by 1900.
Oh, okay, divide 3 million
by 1900.
By 1900. 1,578.94737.
Okay. So there is one serialized Soul Ring in, what'd you say,
1,578 packs.
Ow. Okay.
Divide that by 12.
No, multiply that by like 50, because that's how much it's going to cost you to get a Soul Ring.
Wow.
Right? Those are $50 a pack. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're not. No, there's 12. 12
wait, what? Haha, sucks if I
the collector boxes are $450, right? So they're roughly about $40 a pack, more in that ballpark.
Open? No.
Twizzler. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at sucks if I pour
yeah, no, right. Like,
post that. I want to see you post that comment there, Pat, so that somebody can screenshot that.
Somebody screenshot that, please. Yeah.
Sucks if I porn it for someone else.
You know how disappointed John Smith is going to be?
Sucks if I open it all and get nothing from me. I'm trying to wrap my head around that, but I don't know. I'm getting distracted. Kind of off.
It's Saturday night.
So again, there's one serialized Soul Ring in 1,500 packs. Just rough numbers there. And we'll call them what? On the cheap, we'll call them $30 a pack, right?
Okay, so
about $5,000 per ring.
Bob, I will bet you one set booster pack that we see Lance get one within a week, like of release. Like him having product, I bet it'll be less than a week, and Rip and Shit Moonshot gets
I don't want to bet that, because he opens way too many. It's like, I'm sorry, just pure numbers. If you're going to see anything open on any of
the numbers are on his side there.
It's fucking
we're not
wild,
talking about
dude.
Normal, but to be fair, we're not talking about normal serialized, but
I don't know if I get that much product.
That's a little over 100 boxes, like 120 boxes. And
God,
I don't know if he
guy's got to have the most busy driveway. Like he's just shy of getting pallets. That's got to be annoying as shit. He must have a pickup truck for that kind of stuff. Like I went to my LGS. I had to bring my wife's truck. Like what the fuck? Like,
but I'll say this: I would make a bet more like I don't see him ever opening 3 serialized Soul Rings. That I would take a bet on.
Okay, minivan.
Because then you're talking like his chances are like 3 in 4,500. He would probably have to get 4,500 packs. That's a lot of packs. That's a lot of collectors.
That's a lot of packs.
375 collector boxes, 62 cases at 6 apiece.
That's a lot.
Oh, it's not. It's you get 12 for a collector case, right?
No.
It's 6. It's just 6. Yeah,
it's 6, but they come in boxes of 4, right? Like a big.
Well, the serialized traders, there's, I think there's a lot more of them.
I love that. I got 2 serialized Praetors. Meh, just shrug.
But and he hits well. You all should bet, unless BBD sends me the product, that I would never open one. You could give me 1,000 pallets. And
and also, by the way, if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to either Rip and Shit by Moonshot or Twiddler's Place MTG,
or me.
Hold on. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. If you haven't watched, Twiddler or Rip and Ship, you're missing out on really high quality, good content. Also, if you have free time, Prime 406 has a chance.
Yep.
And even though
I don't do what they do, but
Jesus Christ, like my store owner doesn't do what they do. Like he said, he opened a set box for March of the Machines for their store. the
Yeah.
fuck out of here. Like, I could
One
tune into
box.
Lance, and he would do that on like a Tuesday. Like,
What are you talking about? He does it like 20 of them on a Tuesday. But Twiddler, I mean, like you said, Twiddler, you know, even though he porns himself, you want to stay for his duck races.
It's all about the duck races. I won last night, and I wasn't even paying attention.
Dude, they are adorable as shit. They're adorable as shit. They got like little eye patches and like buccaneer hats and stuff.
Oh, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
My favorite is like the one with the astronaut helmet.
When I'm in the duck races, I tend to like charge way out there in front for a second, and then I have no staying power.
It's because
Gilbrain. I mean, hey, Twiddler, I ain't hating on him. If he's porning it, it's for others, it's awesome.
Oh my God, Caustic's here. No,
you're never gonna get over that one.
Oh
Twiddler.
no,
I mean, that's just gonna be a
I've been drinking. We can't have Caustic on tonight. We're not doing this.
Oh no.
God, the last time I hung out with him, I got blackout drunk. Jesus Christ, man, I haven't found somebody that gets as loose as I'm a fan of how degenerate that guy gets.
No, Twiddler's awesome. He really is. I mean,
he's on a short list of horrible people I love.
Twiddler's just like one of those perpetually happy people. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him go more than 30 seconds to 60 seconds without laughing.
That's true.
Literally.
That is
literally
contagious as hell too, because it's just like
just upbeat. Way to go! See, I offset Twiddler.
There's a way to turn off autocorrect.
I don't.
Yes, and dictation, Twiddler.
Oh, look at you, Brain. That's why you're here with us. Finally dropped your morals and came over to the gutter.
Right, it's Saturday. Yeah. He's probably had a wine or a beer or two. You know.
So, I mean, there are other real things I did want to talk about because there's big news in the cardboard world this week. And for those of you, I don't want you to leave yet, but you know, thumbs down, leave, all that. I did want to talk about some Lorcana and some Flesh and Blood news.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I also have Mail Day if you guys want to see some of that.
Holy moly, look at you. What's weird is it's all bills asking him to pay his overdue internet.
You're past due on your Magic bills.
Yes.
Go porn yourself.
TCG player says you owe us, bitch. It's just a picture of a backhand. It's just...
So let's talk about Flesh and Blood and what I really want to talk about. I don't want to get into like the very specific numbers that they put out this week, but something that I absolutely love about Flesh and Blood, and hence it's my backdrop this week. And Alex was the first person to turn me on to it, and I just watched a video today about it. They released more of their print run numbers. Right?
Oh,
they gave more of their print run numbers.
Yep.
And I'm very, very happy with that, doing analytics. And I know other people we've had on the show would absolutely love to see that. I know Josh would like to see those in Magic. I know that MTG Box Analysis, fantastic guy, would definitely do some work with those numbers. So I know James White has 0.00003% chance of watching this show, but if he does or somebody gets in touch with him, tell him bravo. Love the fact that you're putting the numbers out there. If anything, that might make me want to invest in it more because I know the numbers. I know what I'm working with. I'm not guessing in the dark. It's not this bullshit grab ass game that Magic's got without revealing their numbers. So yes, they can reveal numbers, and they should, especially in this environment. And we should hold them accountable for it. And I think we should support Flesh and Blood, even though I've never played. I'm going to try to play it with Alex in Gen Con. But kudos, claps for Flesh and Blood for releasing more of their numbers. I'm very, very happy with that move. It establishes more trust with the community, with me at least.
Yeah, and on that note, I actually, no joke, I'm not going to share it, but I just sent over to Alex, hey, man, if you're going to open any more first edition Flesh and Blood, I want in. He previously did a Monarch first edition box opening, and I got a cold foil Vestige of Soul. Huge fan of the style that they have for their artwork. It's super visceral. It's not like the cutesy goblins and the very soft stuff that you can often get in Magic. I gotta say, Flesh and Blood, shit, just even their name, it says that we're bringing something else to the table. It's a very different play style looking to bring that actually down to my LGS. Just talked with the store owner earlier today about bringing different TCG games in play in store. And that's something that we're going to hopefully broaden into our horizons here on Pure MTG as well. We want to start bringing you more content. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know down below. But either way, I think some pack opening and comparisons with Wizards print quality in other TCGs is definitely a way to compare in the field. So whether it be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Flesh and Blood, I want to see how a foil can or cannot curl with other CCGs.
I want to see that in Lorcana. I'm very interested to see what happens with the Lorcana. Like, I'll say this: that I am a bit disappointed with Lorcana. You're hearing my first poo-pooing on it. I don't know if we should bring up. Do you want to bring up the image I sent you? So, in case you're not aware about Lorcana, this week they released the rules, the play rules. I don't know the game rules. And something I noticed right away after reading the whole thing, and it just struck me like a ton of bricks, is that there are no reactions. Meaning you only play spells on your turn. You only activate your abilities on your turn.
And so it's kind of like actually, Bob, I watched a full game of Lorcana earlier. 2 people had proxied up full Lorcana decks and played a full game on custom Lorcana mats. It was very entry level and pedantic, not very exciting whatsoever. I cannot say as though I was enthralled by the gameplay. And I think that's a huge hit with seasoned Magic the Gathering players that are looking for large interactions and combo extravaganza. I do think that it will be huge for a lot of younger players. And I do feel as though that's what it's aimed at. And it will do exceedingly well in that aim.
Oh, wow. We have Dual Brain offering to join us here. I will never pass it up if you want to shoot him a link there.
Yeah, let's go, bro. So I wasn't surprised that
I don't know how to shoot him a link. Like
designed,
I don't have my phone like in use.
I'm not surprised that it's set for a kids game, but I am surprised that
well, can I stop people from like calling M30 proxies, and you're calling it a kids game? I don't think it's a kids game. I think we need to redefine that as an entry level game.
Okay. All right. I will stand.
Is that fair enough? Because I think there's going to be a lot of adults playing it. And I think it's going to be for people not looking. And I'll be honest, like Pat and I played Commander Raids after our pre-release games yesterday, Prime, and and I brought up my Chulane deck, and it got so complicated. I'm like, I think I have the win, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so many triggers going off because I had Chulane, Tatyova in play. I had AC out. No, I didn't have AC. I had Amaranth the Lustrous out. Like I had all these triggers popping off everywhere, and I couldn't even begin to wrap my head around it. I had to like do one step at a time, and I didn't even know if I had the win, right? I'm like, I don't know if I have the win, but I think I can get it close enough that you can win. And it got, how long was that turn, Pat?
I gotta say that was close to, I was going to say 15 minutes, over 12.
So I don't know necessarily that simplifying the gameplay is going to be prohibitive, because I think like what Pat said earlier, honestly, hearing 3 games over 6 hours sounds like a slog to me. It almost sounds very unfun. So if you can crank out a game of Lorcana in 15, 20 minutes,
it did seem
not such a bad
far
thing,
more
maybe.
direct. Yeah. And to Caustic, get to the point Caustic was making, I'm not pluralizing this. Buy Lorcana, hold for 20 years. I honestly think if you get not financial advice, this is my speculation for my purchases. Here's that. I can't tell you what you should do with yours. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to get as much of this first edition product as possible and I'm going to do nothing with it outside of one box. I've told my LGS if I can get my hands on it before they do, I'd love to build a relationship, open some for them, and have it in store before anybody else in the entire Northeast Kingdom. If I can do that,
we're going to try, folks, to be some of the very first people on the interwebs cracking Lorcana.
Smart. That's a good niche. You see Collector's Art House with sorcery. Dude is building quite the audience.
Well, I mean, Gen Con is going to be the absolute first place for public release of the game. And we absolutely intend, I'm going to be very front in line. I even have my pass so I can get in first day. I plan on being early. I'm going to charge straight into the Lorcana booth, and I'm going to charge straight outside. I'm going to try to go live and start cracking some Lorcana.
If there is
Gen Con,
unique
Gen
item
Con,
for the show, I'm going to ask you guys to get that shit for me.
If I can. I have a feeling that it's going to be
gonna say, Bob.
It's going to be the honeypot, right? It's going to be where I don't know if you've ever been to like major cons where the hot place is just surrounded like
it's going to be like 8 nerds deep.
Like, like the line's going to wrap around the booth and go out into the other room and down the hallway.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Jesus. So I have a feeling that's what it's going to be like. And because of that, it's going to be probably very, very limited. I would absolutely. You got me the pins. I should crack one of those tonight, just to do something unique. And you're here with me, Ed.
I've been meaning to crack one or two myself on a live stream.
Do you guys want me to crack one of the boosters?
I would love to see it. Yeah,
that's so different.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do that with the
I love those
tonight to make people stick around. Bob is streaming from the front of the Indy line.
I'm sad I didn't buy any of those. I don't know why I didn't. I
really though, it's so different. Nobody's opening those on YouTube or in general. You just don't see those being opened.
Right.
Well, because it's not like announced, and it's funny, Ed. I would love for you to share like the experience because I asked Ed, like I was poking Ed, I don't know, a couple months before you went there, probably right after Gen Con, right?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if you're going to Philly, get me. I said, get me a case, right? And
I said, yeah, I'm getting myself.
So share with them the buying experience that you had at Philly when you went up to go buy a case.
It was weird. They looked at me like I'm crazy.
Like, really?
What are you even talking about? I'm like, do you have like a master box or like case or like something like a larger amount than just singles? And on Friday, the first day, they were able to give me bags of 10. I mean, it's not like super official. It is like a plastic bag stapled, and then it has like a small label that says 10 pieces on it. But it's something that's like, a solid amount. The next day, they just gave me a giant freaking, the purple magic plastic bag that they have at these conventions. They just gave me one full of it. It was ridiculous.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, they have no like organization for these things. So that tells me that it's
that's good though.
It's more one-off than we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they came in.
Yeah, that's what. So what I did was I knew I was gonna hang some on my wall, so I gave Bob one of the 10 packs. Show them the 10 pack because it's not really a 10 pack, even though it kind of is. It's like they kind of made it its own thing. There's like a little tiny label somewhere that says 10 pieces. Yeah. So like that's it. That's the only freaking organization that they had for these things. Nothing. It's crazy. Just like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so that's one of the things that like I hate to say it because I'm so fucking degenerate, but I'm going to because I'm so fucking degenerate, is that you can use those mistakes to your advantage. We're like, have you ever heard that you can see any movie in the world for free as long as a friend and you go with a ladder? No, like this is the dumbest thing in the world. So Prime, you and I show up at a movie theater and we hold a ladder and we walk in and we go up and we say, yeah, right.
You just got to have an ID, a badge. Like
no, fuck that noise. Like I walk in with Prime and we say, we're here for the construction project. everybody gets it. It's over
Mhm.
a 95% rate that you get in places for free if two people
Yeah.
hold the ladder. If we have like those free like construction vest bullshit,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
like
get
the
from,
onesie, like the
yeah,
Orange
freaking
vest. Yeah.
jumpsuit.
that's a slam dunk. Like it's the
Yeah.
dumbest thing in the world. Like that kind of
It's
shit
ridiculous.
where it's like, hey, you want to go to Gen Con for free? Save $135.
No, all you need, look, yo,
Yeah, go to
Pat,
buy a $45 ladder. It's
I'm
like-
telling you, this is it. This is the ultimate right here. You just get those jumpsuits, a couple of freaking name tags, and what's it called? A hand truck. Go in
Yeah.
anywhere, and I guarantee you can walk out with an ATM and nobody really
Oh,
like
bro.
saying anything.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. However, because I kind of work in this industry, right? I run a gas station, right? I'm a manager.
He's
of a
like, bro,
convenience
I
store.
see people steal so
Dude,
much shit.
dude. If I don't know who you are and you start pulling that kind of shit, I am asking fucking questions. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, okay, I'm not
Because
talking
my
about a
corporate
gas
office
station
is
where,
so
like,
bad.
dude, where you're paying attention like a hawk, like a mother hen over that shit. I'm talking about like a mall
Oh, so
where
okay,
nobody's
so
like watching.
I
know,
work for I work for state government up in Vermont, right? And I have often brought people into secure locations, like our title inventory areas, like very secure areas. And I literally just badge in and just like wave to people and like walk in with a stranger. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how a lot of shit works. Like it is the wildest thing in the world. Like there's a thing called pen testers, like phys pen testers, physical penetration testers. They're paid by companies to break into those companies.
Mm.
And this stuff is just absolutely wild. You learn about all of these little loopholes that a lot of people understand that just absolutely break down about how like the world works, like fleet keys. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, there's a whole other world of like shenanigans that smarter people can do. And that's nothing that we want to cover here on this channel. We are all
Hey,
about
why don't we go back and talk about
BCGs and
Lorcana?
collectibles. You know,
Wait,
what
what
I
the
would
fuck
absolutely
happened?
Prime, I don't know what you're doing to us. Oh man, dual brain with that other brain of his. Now I want to know what dual brain's other brain has to think about Lorcana and how this possible IP can go for well over the 30 years Magic already has. They've got a huge block of art to pull from, and they've already paid those artists. So there's a huge reduction in their price point for further production. Do you think
That's
that's
true.
going to make it easier for them?
But okay, so yeah, that'll make it easier for them to produce, but you gotta see how they're gonna produce it. A lot of things depend on print run nowadays. Like this is walking a very fine line. If you look at what's happening with Sorcery and its pre-orders and how crazy people are going for these boxes, like $500, $600. Bro, nobody's even gotten them yet. And it has a print run of 30,000 plus, I believe, something like that, or 25,000 plus, which is more than Flesh and Blood. And Flesh and Blood suffered the bubble popped and those boxes dropped like rocks at 15,000 print run. You know what I mean? So what is Lorcana going to do? Is it going to be corporate and just blow it out of the water and produce 100,000 boxes?
There is a huge expectation for print run. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's a problem
with
Lorcana.
I was actually in the Discord for whatever it's worth, and it's funny. I think people in our hobby tend to do a lot of cloud chasing, and I spent my whole life trying to look at. I'm a technician at heart. I look at actual numbers. I try to look at what is rather than what I hope is. And when I was talking to them, they were pointing to the gameplay when I said, I think it's a problem not having interaction on the other player's turn. I think that will be a serious stumbling block for making this any kind of competitive scene. And one of the responses I got from one of the knuckleheads was, well, that's good. Because it's like Pokemon. I just want to play my game, and I don't want the other guy to interrupt what I'm doing. I'm like, you're in a competitive
but
game.
I just want to
you just want to play solitaire? I don't understand.
Yep. Parrying is a major part of like the whole battle experience.
But then they were pointing to Pokemon for like gameplay, and I'm like, I hate to tell you, but I've been around for a long time. I have yet to see a Pokemon tournament in any LGS. Like I know they happen somewhere.
It's funny you bring that up.
I don't know anybody that actually plays Pokemon.
So like I said
to
to Bob earlier, the cards I got for my pre-release pack last night with Prime and Bob here on Pure MTG, we did a pre-release event. I went down to my LGS, traded those cards in. While I was kind of bullshitting with the store owner, I asked him about other play events that they hold in their store. He sells some Pokemon, and that's it. It's MTG and Pokemon only for sales. So I asked him, hey, Brad, do you hold any other events? Do you have Magic games? Do you play Flesh and Blood? Any of that stuff? He said, no. All we do is Magic right now. But we were thinking about holding some Pokemon events, but we don't have a whole lot of players. I said, hey, if you start carrying Flesh and Blood, I'll learn how to play. I'll come down and I'll play every single weekend. He said, oh, okay, yeah, we'll start thinking about it. But that's the thing, is that you have to be very forward about that with some of these smaller things. Even with Pokemon. I mean, this is the biggest guy in the capital of Vermont. It's the one LGS in the entire state of Vermont. For the capital, they only play Magic.
And, you know, it's crazy because Pokemon really relies solely on collectors. It's really, really crazy that it's as popular as it is and as, like, wildly priced as it is. And no matter how much Magic is struggling or stumbling right now, it's the exact opposite for Pokemon. I have not heard more about it from actual individuals, not just like, you know, the interwebs.
Right.
No, and that was sort of where I was going, and I hope that it'll be strong enough on its IP alone. And they have a lot of IPs. So I mean, I'm not saying Lorcana's dead by any fashion. I'm not.
Lorcana has a ton of ridiculous IP. That is one of the greatest things it has going for it. It's got a deep well to draw from.
It's just disappointing that they're coming out of the gate with no reaction. I mean, you could read the rule set, but everything says on your turn you can do these things, right? And it's activated. It doesn't say that you can respond. It doesn't say specifically you can't on other players' turns. At any rate, we'll see where it goes. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they add reactions, like more interactivity. And when I was talking to them about that as well, I was like, well, I think if it's going to rely solely on IP and solely be a collectible, they're going to have to be very cognizant of their print run numbers. They'll be more affected than most games by print runs. You know, they're going to have to be exceedingly tight if they don't have a strong player base. And they said, no, they've already announced at the corporate level that they plan to make it available to everyone. And I have to kind of lean into that because we know that just with their release schedule that we have the beginning of August is going to be Gen Con. I think the 18th of August is going to be at LGS's. And then like September 1st, it's going to be big box stores. So they're coming out of the gate selling at big box stores.
Do they have an actual case? Do you know like what the set comprises of yet or anything?
There's like, I don't know, probably like 100 cards have been spoiled, if that's what you mean.
So there have been a number of cards spoiled.
No, I mean like actual chase, like Marching Machine.
It seems as
like
though
they don't show
most
anything
sought after card at this point is Mickey Mouse Tinker Tailor. One of the ways that you can gauge a card's power, in the lower right hand, you'll see chevrons, small diamond looking symbols. Each one of those represents how many lore per attack you can get. The higher that number, the faster you can close a game. So far, there's a red card, Mickey Mouse Tinker Tailor, that seems to be the most sought after card. All of those.
So I got a question. Is it like Flesh and Blood where there's 3 versions of the same card where some are stronger?
Not that I've seen. I haven't seen any versions.
Okay. So it's not like that. It's just like.
But I do know they have foils. They do have foils. So maybe if that's, and I hope they stick to that. But we do know there's also rarities. And I think
a mythic in you know any other set, like a strong mythic, like that's it. That's like what you're saying, Pat. There's one card
Yes,
that's
there
like,
are
good.
definitely cards that are notably more powerful and useful than other cards.
Okay,
At this
but
point,
what I'm asking
yeah.
is the pull rate. Are they like, Flesh
no
and
way to
Blood
know.
where there's Fabled and
So unfortunately, we have yet to see actual sealed product openings. All we've
Okay.
seen is a
And they're
little
also
bit
not-
of
They're not announcing
spoof
pull rates.
gameplay. No,
Like they might have to put those pack odds on the packs. but
pack
we've yet to see
odds.
the back
Yeah.
of a pack.
look, man, if they did it right, they could print 100,000 boxes and people wouldn't care if they did it right. If Magic did it right for March of the Machines and made reprinted actual inventions and had mana crypts numbered to 1,000, that there were actually only 1,000 and there weren't any more of them. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. No other versions, nothing, just 1,000. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like, people would freak out. Like, it's all about how you do it. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
I
That's
had
one of
this
the-
conversation with. I had this very same conversation with Pat last night, and this is just my opinion, folks, about how they could fix Magic in very short order, and they have the right pieces already. They're just mucking it up. They're Watsifying it, and it is with the serialized cards. I think serialized is the right way to go. I don't like it's somebody on ADD that did the different borders, and just total turnoff for me in March of Machine.
Again,
oh my
I think
god,
it's a noob.
it's a jumble. But if they to follow this, if this is what they did, if they made, we'll call it the new reserve list, by saying we're going to take 5 of the top cards out of each set. Those 5 cards have to be new prints from this set that we're introducing. We are going to serialize each of these 5 cards, and only these 5 cards, and they will only ever be serialized in the first print run. You can reprint it as many times as you want. Baller card, have 10,000 prints of Ragavan, but the serialized ones are only going to be in the first edition printing of Ragavan, and they will never serialize it again. They can have special borders. They can do whatever they want with it. But those serialized cards, in order to potentially create a new reserve list, they could do that. And that would be very good for the game.
Yeah, and there's other things they could do too. Imagine. They made
Imagine this.
They made Ragavan 1 of 2,000, right? When it first came out. How many times could you do that? How many different sets? You could make it 1 of 1,000 freaking 30 times, and still it would be a valuable card that people would desire in 30 different sets. You know what I mean? Like,
right. It's there is a certain way that you can market cards with their production that just always makes them.
It's just they just seem to make the variants, and like they get stupid, and like they don't make the chase correct.
Mana Vault, those have always been difficult to get. Imagine if Soul Ring, which I'll be fucking honest, it's a better card. If Soul Ring was always as hard to get. Now, in the future, when they design cards, imagine a Triumph that doesn't come into play.
As low print as Mana Crypt, it would be it would be as expensive as the invention.
And that's one of the things that I am honestly very worried about for Magic of the Magic Gathering. When they start getting into that area, when they make Triumphs that don't come into play tapped, and they just make them really rare. Okay, cool. The only place you can get this is in a very expensive product, and they can artificially drive prices by making cards that is just so ridiculously powerful. I mean,
when they were people that are pissed at the reserve list, they're gonna freaking cry and yell
and what can you say? Promissory estoppel all the way to the fucking yeah, right. Yeah, like
it's funny to hear all these clowns talk about I'm suing WotC. No, you're not. Nobody
can. You can't sell pop. You can't sue Papa Hasbro.
Well, actually, you could if you had a real case. But promise. So here we go. Ready to get nerded out because I've had this conversation with Pat, and I'm going to drop some facts on you here, and you need to go do your homework. Because when I started looking into this and made my video 2 years ago about the reserve list, you can go see it. I said that, they can reprint the reserve list according to their policy, as long as they're not tournament legal, because the policy only applies to tournament legal cards. So you can watch that video. Made it 2 years ago. And that's when I started digging into the reserve list, because I was talking with Rudy behind the scenes, by the way. promissory estoppel stands in place for contracts, right? It is essentially falls under contract law. And there are 3 parts of this. And one of them is called consideration, right? And it's, I don't see it on your list there, but it's what's called consideration. And consideration in promissory estoppel means that we promise, so we being WotC, we promise you that we won't reprint these cards. In order for it to be a contract, you have to receive something as WotC, right? So they made a promise to the public and got no consideration for it. They got nothing. Bupkis, 0. There is no consideration going back to WotC. There is no case. Sorry, if you don't meet the standard of consideration,
Reliance is justified. It's
you
what they're talking about.
have no case. Go look up consideration and what it means. Because when I was talking to lawyers, that's what they kept throwing at me. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't know what do you mean consideration? And essentially, when they talk consideration, it means financial. Like if I'm going to do this and promise not to print these things, I need to get something in return from people that are agreeing to this contract back from you that financially compensates me for making this promise.
Yeah,
And
you would
WotC
have to be
got
buying these cards on the secondary market from Wizards.
Right.
In
That's
order,
the
and
thing.
like
That's a
that
whole different
promise in
thing.
place in order for it to matter. You know, the fact that we're buying it from other people makes, you know,
Yes.
Because if you show what you bought from WotC and you say, how much did you pay for the pack that you got that Black Lotus in? $295.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was one of 15 cards in that $295.
Yes.
So it's 1/15 of $295.
And you never
What are you
bought them
doing
from
for it?
Wizards.
Here's your 7
You only-
cents.
yeah.
Now we're going to
Yeah.
charge
You
you,
only
for the short
and you
fee.
never buy those cards from Wizards. You buy those cards from
There's
you know
no promissory
Tom's
estoppel
trading
here,
card
folks.
store.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You're buying it from an LGS. You're not buying
What
it from
up,
Wizards.
TCG dude?
So there's no, you know,
Yeah,
there's no
Well,
like
even if you did
compensation.
buy
There's
it
no
from Wizards,
consideration
right?
for Wizards in this.
Even if you did buy it from Wizards, you bought it as part of a $3 pack because that's historically what packs are. Even most expensive, $100 pack, right? And it's one. What was it? 35 cards inside that $100 pack is the most expensive.
The
pack
only
they've made so far?
the
Oh,
only
no, the
slight
$250 pack.
Bob, the only slight edge you could have in the argument here is I bought a lot of Zendikar original first edition because you guys told me about the reserve list and then you put them in there and you sold it. That's the only time ever.
That is true.
It doesn't.
However,
it doesn't really matter because there's no consideration. They got nothing in return for it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more sales. That's it.
No, but you can't show that. You can't
Yeah,
show
I know,
the
I
global
know.
sales that they got in
They could be like,
consideration
"Oh,
for
that's
making
good
promissory
marketing." Shut up, you.
what did you fart?
So again, it's going to be impossible to win a lawsuit against WotC for breaking the reserve list. They don't do it because, right? And I think that they don't want to basically nuke the reserve list because it's still something that gets web hits, right? They do scrape the web, by the way. That I do know.
Oh
And
yeah,
they are looking at what
absolutely.
people are talking about. And if they just say, fine, F it, goodbye reserve list, how much reserve list chatter you think is going to be going on the interwebs anymore? Far less web traffic, far less hits on YouTube, just far less interest. Right now, it generates more buzz. Honestly, most of the cards on there suck. And the only ones that really make any difference, people are like, oh, Power 9. Bullshit. Who plays a Power 9 format here? Nobody I know.
My God.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Dual
like
land.
the
Let's be real.
whole-
It's dual
okay.
land.
Bob, like,
And Jay's
and what
Cradle.
you're talking about now, like this is one of my things, man. During the last freaking buyout, during the last buyout, people went crazy for the like penny stock reserve list cards just because they were reserve list, and that's such a false tactic. Like it'll get you nowhere. You'll lose money that way. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just bugged me. You know, like there's such garbage on there just because it didn't get reprinted in time. That's it.
The whole thing is fugazi, right? And at some point they're going to have to start reprinting the valuable cards on the reserve list, because if you extrapolate what they're doing now, and how many more times can you reprint Urza before he's a $2 card and doesn't push sales of a set?
How many OG border Yawgmoths can you get, you know, before like who the F cares?
Twitter's on fire.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I think he's been drinking. Jesus.
You
Scott,
guys
this Gary
like
get
the
me
picture I
slime.
chose, huh?
It's
This is
quite-
awesome.
No, this
it's-
is
it's
great.
easy.
And honestly,
I don't know if
just,
you just shat your pants or you pulled a good card. Like,
So when I make thumbnails sometimes I scan my videos for like some of the silliest faces I can find and I
Yeah,
like to
that's
put
awesome.
that up.
You know what that
So
face
this
says to
was
me?
one of them.
You know what that face says to me right there? What? Hold on. So here's the caption. What's the price of a Commander Master set box?
For real, right? Oh
Like,
my
what?
God. We still don't know why. I'm telling you the medallions are going to be in
They're
it.
gonna
I
do
So-
it.
really
so
think
that's-
so.
They're
okay.
going to
Yeah,
do it.
let's
From Tempest.
let's
Oh,
go
let's do
ahead.
that. Let's do that. Let's
I was
each
just gonna
pick
say, let's
a
take some
different card.
time.
Let's go one at a
Yeah.
time.
fucking
Yeah,
make a
let's-
poll.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
we'll start with
absolutely.
Pat. Go around the wheel here. We're gonna pick one card, and we'll do. I don't know. To get like at least 3 lined up here. I'm gonna start writing this shit down on the back of a pack here, for what we suspect, not what's already announced. So yeah, Jewel Lotus.
Okay.
Yeah, we get it.
So wait,
What
to
you
start with
suspect
me
is
because I
going to
already
be-
said it, man. The medallions, that's it.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so you're
Ed's
saying
saying
medallion.
medallion cycle. The whole
Yeah.
cycle.
You're picking a whole cycle.
Well, because you can't just make one, you know.
No,
like-
no,
when you
like
say
I'm
medallion-
behind you. Like that makes total
talking about the
fucking
Tempest?
sense because
Yeah,
Post
Tempest
Malone-
medallions.
Post Malone had that like jet medallion.
Mm,
and,
mhm.
like,
and
that's
it's only
just-
been in Commander otherwise.
Like
I
that's
believe.
that's literally just like licking your finger before you start ruining sets.
Yeah.
and
it is.
honestly,
What do you?
I am
What do you got?
I
Pat?
am
All right.
I'm right behind you, Ed, with exactly that because today, just a couple of hours ago, I had learned that in the March of the Machines bundles, the set boosters included in those have a higher list pull rate. So I was like, hey, what's on the
Wait,
list?
what?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So
no.
well, there's some hysteria, whether it's right or wrong. I was
No.
interested in so follow me with it. We're gonna move right past that. I was interested in seeing what was on the set list.
Okay.
On the list. Ketria Triome is
Mm.
reprinted for the first time in March of the Machines, the list. So that
Nice.
tells me Triomes are now actively okay for
So
reprinting.
you think?
Bob,
you think?
I
there's gonna
call
be-
the entire
Hold on. It's-
Triumph cycle.
You think that they're gonna have 10 rare lands? That's crazy. I don't know. It depends on how many cards are in the set.
Ed,
It might not be
Ed.
crazy, actually.
How fucking expensive is this set?
Yes, rip and ship. Oh, hold on. I got a comment. Rip and ship. I agree. Like it was a small sample set that he made this video and got 37,000 fucking views. This guy.
Okay, so I was
On
confused.
bullshit.
and okay. On
He
bullshit.
had a small sample size of his own product. And I said right away to someone who said to me, hey, look at this video.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
that's your product right there. I bet somebody else got one per bundle. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I'll bet you if I order a bundle, it'll be mine.
Yes.
Oh
exactly.
god, yeah,
And
that
this
is how Bob
this-
works though. Yeah.
This is exactly
It's-
what I've been hearing is 1 and 2 from other
So-
people. So, you know,
I
like
want-
you
I
may
wanna
have
stay on-
gotten lucky, but other people got unlucky.
I
You
wanna
know?
stay
So
on
right
point
there,
here with-
let's go ahead. Anthony from MTG Box Analysis, do me a favor, tune in to Twiddler's Place MTG. If you're not already subscribed, man, you're missing out. He's got 16 bundles coming in. So let's go ahead, tune in, and get some pure metrics. That's
Yeah,
the
but-
best way to do this.
But
Get
we
some
need
numbers.
other people to get 16 bundles from 4 different other sources, you know, at
Absolutely.
the same time and open all of them and then compound your
Yeah.
numbers. It just frustrates me because I would never make a video like that and jump the gun and like that's the videos that get all the views, man.
right. Yeah, that's
So-
Well,
So I
either
wanna-
way,
I wanna stay on
either
point.
way, I'm going to
Commander
say
Masters.
that for me, Bob, Commander Masters, I'm
Sorry,
feeling
guys.
an entire Triumph reprint cycle.
That's
I do
crazy
think,
though. 10 lands. You're saying 10 effing lands.
Why not?
All right,
Let's go
so I'm
nutto
gonna
with
I'm
it.
gonna go next. Since we went Ed, Pat. So if I steal yours, Prime, tough shit.
Go ahead.
I'm calling.
Yeah,
I'm
suck it,
calling
Dennis.
Ancient
Suck it.
Tomb.
Oh,
Ancient
it
Tomb.
needs it. It needs it.
I think we're going to see that in Commander Masters, and I'm going somewhere after we. So I'd like us each to get 3 things that we predict will be in there. So Ancient Tomb's on there for me. Go ahead, Prime. What do you
Okay,
got?
I've been saying this for months. Mana Crypt.
You think
It needs
again?
it. And of course, that would be an easy way to get value. But I don't know. Jewel Lotus and Mana Crypt, 2/0 mana.
Right, that's
artifacts.
the thing. Right. So my other guess is
But why
Well,
Well, hold
not?
on. You're gonna get another guess.
Yeah,
We're gonna
Like-
get-
yeah.
we're gonna go back
Next,
to Ed now.
next round.
Ed, you're up. What do you got? What's your next one?
Cover of Darkness.
What the hell? Is that?
Oh,
It's a
I don't even know
$50
what the
onslaught
fuck that
card,
is.
printed once, just like Mana Echoes and Double Masters.
oh man,
It would be
Echoes is so
very
broken. I
Wizards of
played it
them
today.
to put
Yeah.
that in there.
oh, see, and you're looking in the right spots, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Pat?
I mean, it's low hanging fruit, but Edgar Markov. That's a,
Yeah, I
a
think
I'll
chest.
toss that one off my list.
Yeah.
It's one of
That's
the
a good
guesses.
one. It needs it.
Wait,
Okay,
no,
I-
it fucking doesn't. It doesn't, Ed. I will argue the shit out of that. It doesn't need it.
It's gonna
It doesn't
tank
need
like
it whatsoever.
crazy.
Price
I
wise,
wanna go back to
Wizard
some-
eyes. Okay.
The
I
Jewel
wanna go back
Lotus
to some of
doesn't
these-
fucking need it either. Like, it's,
I want to go back to these
I-
when we get done with the list here, and
You're-
I have some other
you're
things I wanna
right.
talk
When
about
I-
with Commander Math.
Mhm.
So my
It's
next
From
my
Wizards'
next pick,
perspective.
my next pick
Allosaurus
is gonna
Shepherd. Why? You want it to be $2? It's
well, speaking of it, my next pick is doubling season. I think we're going to see that reprinted again. 'Cause
There
it
you
jumped
go.
up and
Yep,
got too
that's-
much value again. So what have you got prime for your next? Because there are other things I want to do with these.
Allied Fetches.
man,
So-
he's so handsome. Look
What's
at that jawline.
Allied Fetches.
You think they're going to do the allied? So I
Allied
think we
fetches.
won't see both allied fetches and the triomes. That I'll make the call. I don't think we'll see them both. But
Grizzly
okay,
bear.
what do you got for your
Get
last
outta
pick?
here.
Ed?
I had something and I got distracted. Give me a minute so I can think of it again. Like I don't know what happened, man.
Well, you're having fun. That's
Well,
the thing.
That's
That's like
exactly
you're,
what happened.
And
you're
I'm also
legitimately
thinking in terms of
entertained.
Commander,
smoking a bowl,
right?
man.
Think in terms of Commander.
Yo,
Right?
just
Commander
Okay.
Staples is probably where they're going to be targeting.
Oh, yes,
$5
there you
ticket.
go. It's fucking obvious. Ikoria, the commander, fucking zero cast cards.
Oh, you're talking about the slot cycle?
yeah,
Yeah.
Fierce
Oh,
Guardian
yeah.
ships.
Yeah, that's
Are you
Guardian
talking the whole
shit.
cycle?
There you
I don't know
go.
what they're
Thank
called.
you, Bob.
The commander spell cycle.
I
Yep.
just say free spells, commander spells, free spells.
Yes. Yep.
yeah,
yep,
the
yep.
fierce
cycle.
guardianship
So
cycle.
Deadly
God
Slot,
damn.
Yep.
Deadly
Yep.
Brawl,
Yep.
Fierce
Yeah,
Like
Guardian
that's
slot,
good.
all that.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Pathways,
my
Goblin
man.
Raiders. I'm with you, Twiddler. What do you got for your
Why?
last pick there, Pat?
Because we need filler.
Grizzly
Shit,
bear.
man. You already said
I have a
doubling
bunch I
season.
think would be on there, but
Foreign Klex Monstrous Raider.
Really? Again? After
Again?
the millions of times?
literally just reprinted it.
Again,
Bro, but how much is it?
it's still 60
We don't even know
bucks.
because they printed it in
That's
Mom.
the fucking issue.
No, they didn't.
well, right
no,
now.
they have a
in-
new
in
Foreign
Pavo.
Klex. Yeah.
No, there's another one in March of the Machine. Oh, wait, no,
Counterbalance.
No,
Voice of
that's the
Hunger.
OG one.
That's Voice of Hunger, right? Not
Yeah,
the
voice,
other one.
but that's Voice of Hunger and the new one, right? Not the. He's
Yeah,
talking
right.
about the Kaldheim one.
Yeah, the
I
I think
doubler.
that's a good call. Like so there's two, and I'm really torn between which one I should say.
Just say Anointed Procession. It's fucking fine.
that's
Bob.
mine.
Yes.
Yeah, no, fuck
There's-
Dennis.
so I'm
Yeah,
gonna say two since I haven't picked cycle, so I'm gonna pick
Yeah,
two cards.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to go with Rhystic Study is going to get a reprint again,
Ooh.
and I think that Crater
God,
Hoof
do
will
not
also,
say
even though
Mystic.
it's not that expensive. Crater Hoof is
Crater
also
Hoof?
going to get a reprint.
Crater Hoof is legit though. That is not fucking wrong. Twiddler, 100%. If Counterspell is not in there, I will buy a pull and just give it back to you. Like 100%. Like Counterspell is gonna be in that fucking thing.
All right, Prime, bring us
low
home,
hanging
buddy.
fruit.
What do you got? Sorry if I
What is
stole.
your
Soul
something.
Ring.
What was
Yeah.
your last one?
I picked two since I didn't pick any cycles like the other cheaters.
Why? Yeah, yeah.
I picked Rhystic Study and Crater Hoof Behemoth. I think we're
Okay,
gonna see
well,
both.
Anointed Procession.
Oh, really? Wow.
Prime.
Because I'm
I've been-
surprised
you know,
it hasn't.
You know, I've been talking about that
Yes,
for a
and that's
million
why
years.
I said it because
It's
I agree with you.
ridiculous.
It's like, why
Okay.
not?
Yeah.
Only been Amonkhet. It's a fucking banger of a card.
Why
It
wouldn't
makes
you
sense.
put
You want
it
me to
in
read the
March
list?
of the Machines with the Anointed Procession? That just, I don't know. Like, it's like, come
Let-
on, guys.
You guys want me to read the list real quick just so we can hear it? And I want everybody to keep this in mind, for what you can get out of the boxes, right? And this is on top of I think we all know what's going to happen.
Bob, you got to send me a
Freaking
picture of that list.
Yeah.
it's with my handwriting.
Yeah.
Somebody else do it in
Oh my
like human
God,
legible
yeah.
terms. So we have the Medallion Cycle. We have Triomes, Ancient Tomb, Mana Crypt, Cover of Darkness, Edgar Markov, Doubling Season, Allied Fetch Cycle, Commander Spell Cycle, Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, Rhystic Study, Craterhoof Behemoth, and Anointed Procession. Now, I think that's a very solid list. Let me ask you something. Now that we've just heard that list, how many of these can stand a reprint, right? Like some of these are going to come back even if they get a reprint, including, I think, Mana Crypt just has a very good way of
So
recovering. So does
Fuck
Doubling
outta here.
Season, and so does Rhystic and Anointed Procession. I think those
Yeah,
are more
Anointed
reprint
bounces
proof.
back well.
But the rest of them,
Mm.
once they get the
Nuked.
reprint, it's going to be
Nuked.
like
Cover of
Dominator
Darkness
Mastered. I
is
think
going
they're
to
going
be
to drop
Yeah.
this 30 to
nuked just like
50%.
Mana Echoes, but
Yep.
it's a
Oh,
$50
bro.
card,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
hasn't been reprinted, guys. Come on,
Yeah.
we gotta reprint that.
What I'm saying with that is, I don't know. Even like, how many of these do you think you would pull out of a box? You're certainly
Ooh.
not going to hit this
Yep.
entire list.
That's solid.
I
So
tell
would
you,
figure
though,
hit 2 out
if
of
a
10.
set
so,
had all that
uh,
and Jeweled Lotus and the Ur Dragon, that's a good fucking set.
I'd buy it if that was the
Okay,
case.
but at $500,
Well,
Even if you
dude,
hit
did you
those.
hear what the list? Did you look at that list right there? That's pretty loaded. They're not. They would charge $500 and give you a third of those cards, Bob.
Exactly. I think we just made an entire set that they haven't even fucking thought of yet.
A better set.
yeah, Watsy, don't watch this video.
Yeah,
Scrub
fuck
this
you!
video.
Oh, yeah. We're actually
not
going to
giving you
name
ideas.
it the
So what I'm saying is,
MTG
even if you
Ultimate,
get- even if you get that
the
list,
Ultimate Master
you're not
List
getting
of
the
how to
value.
lose value. Yeah, like if this is
Like-
the way that you want to drain value of Magic the Gathering, reprint these cards.
Oh,
until they
yeah.
are solely
That's like hitting a
solely
lot of key points.
Yeah,
like
like-
those cards, those are a lot of the hitters right now in the market. Like
Yeah.
that's a good
And as soon as
percentage
they
of
get
the current
reprinted-
market.
Bob, he's right on it.
I only
say
have.
it. As soon as they get reprinted, they're
As
not
soon as they get
fucking
reprinted, they're
hitters.
dropping
Yeah.
50% of their value.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
what I'm
Even Mandarin
saying.
did it
And
last time.
that's the point, is like this is a
Yeah.
major part of the market right now.
Exactly.
yeah.
Here's my thing too. I actually own more Doubling Seasons than I do Mana Crypts.
Why
I
get
have
rid of
0
them?
Doubling Seasons and 3 Mana Crypts.
Buy
I-
some for some
I
old stuff.
Play the Doubling Seasons
Mm,
more
I don't
than
play
the
my
Mana
Mana
Crypt.
Crypt.
One deck has a Mana Crypt. That's it.
mm.
It's my Urza deck. Obviously, you can
You-
see this Doubling Season behind me. That one I don't play with.
You know which card really doesn't
I
end
have
up in
3 that
very
I
many
play
of my
with.
decks, and I have 3 or 4 of them. And one of them I juked right out from underneath Pat. Jeweled Lotus. It just
Mm.
doesn't fit
It's
most of my decks.
true. Yeah.
It just doesn't
Well,
fit. Like I have
that's
it,
a
and I
hard
don't. I'm like,
one.
eh. Like I put it in the Angel deck because I have Avacyn as the commander, and it's freaking ungodly mana to cast it, right? So
Yeah,
in order to
that
get her
makes
out,
sense.
I need the Jewel Lotus. But outside of like an 8 or 9 cost commander, because you can only use it for your commander, you don't really need it in most of my decks. It just
Right.
doesn't do much. It doesn't do enough to justify a spot for a one-time pop, and then they go, okay, kill it. It's like, oh well, fuck, that's awesome.
Mana Crypt just works with Urza because of Urza's ability. It takes away the
Right.
damage portion of it. It just turns it into a 1 blue rock. Same
Yeah.
with Vault. Then you don't have to go through the bullshit upkeep crap where you have to untap 4 to tap 4 to untap Vault. Also, if you slap Unwinding Clock in there, free game.
Yeah.
Fucking boop boop boop. You don't have to pay for any of that shit.
But
Or
you
you
can't
put in Seaborn
realistically
Mutants. I mean, there's all
talk
kinds of
about
shit.
how many you own because like it's in your background, you enjoy it. That's another story than versus like utility. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see Meat Hook Massacre. I really don't.
I don't think so
Really?
either. I don't think so either.
It doesn't make a lot of decks.
No.
It just doesn't.
It's not as like I don't know the word. I don't know the right term on it.
Prolific.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't
Not
hit
as
enough
Like,
Double
I mean,
spaces.
it's
Yeah.
possible we're going to see, Smothering Tithe again, but that took a pretty hard beating and hasn't recovered yet.
Children of the Apocalypse.
Also Bastion of Remembrance. I think
think
that'll hit the uncommon slot.
Okay, but it's like it'll be
I
a
think-
50-cent uncommon. Like it'll be the next Monastery Swift Spear.
Bob,
Yep.
Smothering Tides chart is going to be similar to Anointed Procession when it gets reprinted. You know what I mean? Something like that is going to be pretty similar.
So
Right,
and
where
what
it's
I'm
like,
saying is
boom.
once these get printed, I still think that very shortly, which is what I was said, earlier when we were defining what the next generation or what the next era is. Like, I don't think these boxes, they're just going to collapse under their own weight. That the arbitrage will happen far too quickly.
Yep.
A
I
$500
think-
box price is not insignificant. And
We're already seeing
I'm a
it.
dolphin, right? I'm not a whale, but I am a dolphin. I spend thousands of dollars a year on this crap, and I'm like, I'm out. That's too expensive. Even Lord of the Rings, it was like, nope, I ain't paying that $500 for nope, ain't happening.
Oh yeah, the only reason I have any Lord
don't
of the
wanna
Rings
lose
product
$200
is
on a
just
freaking box.
again, just mispriced. Yeah.
Exactly, Bob.
I'm sorry, but I don't see how you could possibly make money on these.
I
And think
learned
it's gonna
that
fare very
lesson,
poorly.
the lottery lesson, the like, if it's a set that just is like all about the lottery, like that's Dom U right there, Dominaria United, like straight up. It was $270 at one point, guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Well, and I think over time you'll end up having the same type of allure. I don't want to say as much as like OG Zendikar first print, but more like I think Kaladesh. That whole in the future, people will understand that they can crack a Legends card. And since I was
Totally.
digging, I didn't see very many hits get pulled on camera. I would doubt that that very many of them have been pulled. Like I don't know what market saturation is on these boxes.
yeah, but
I would have
also,
expected a lot more hype.
But Bob, you gotta understand a lot of people don't effing know. Like, I know my bro opened it. He didn't even know they were in the common slot, and he skipped over it
Right,
completely.
yeah.
And then I'm like, I spoke to him. I'm like, dude, check the fucking comments. You don't
Nobody
know
knew where
what's
they
in
were
that
supposed to
shit,
be.
man.
Until they
No,
found
they
them,
said
was
it ahead
like,
of time. I knew what
Yeah.
it was. I knew exactly.
Well, I was
Yeah, but
watching.
dude, that's us staying on top of shit. Like, there's a lot of people just buying shit out there, bro.
Yeah.
You don't know what's
So-
buried.
there is
especially
something
with some
relevant I wanna-
products.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about that, but and I'll agree with you. Like you would expect that people that paid $750 for a Black Lotus VIP badge would know a significant amount about Magic and about what's going on and what they're getting right in their swag bag. And I sat down at the table. I swear to God, not 1 hour into it, and I'm sitting down, and these guys come over and they sit down and they open it because we got these douchey backpacks, and they just start ripping because we got a bunch of packs. I mean, it was I don't remember how many, but we got like 30 packs total or something. With mystery boosters and Dominaria United and Unfinity and just all kinds of shit. And then we had the 4 M30 packs in there. And I'm watching them as these two guys are just ripping open the M30 packs right in front of me. I'm like, you guys know those are like $400 to $500 a pack. They looked up at me, stopped, they're like, no. I'm like, how the fuck can you open packs and not know what they are, bro?
Well, that's a huge
And
thing with
that,
the way the
that's an
problem
elite
with this all
part of
goes.
the- that's an elite part of the community. So I agree with you, Ed. How many knuckle draggers out there are opening the packs?
Yeah.
Library of Alexandria. Why does this look old and shitty? Like,
Why does this not do the thing?
This doesn't look like the other ones. This looks
That's
bad.
the
Why does it look
problem,
so bad?
right
It
there.
feels
What is
different.
this silly plain art on this tab?
Yeah, this looks weird.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, this is
Eureka. Is
dumb.
this a joke? Eureka looks like a damn cartoon. But at any rate, I want to segue into the next bit with that, which has to do with the 1 of 1. What is the likelihood? Let's say it's not controlled. I'm not as conspiracy theorist as most people out there. I think there's too much legal risk to try to
Come
control
on.
that. Nope.
Well,
Look
I mean,
at
Star City Games just got one
McDonald's.
of I mean, Star City
McDonald's
Games got
Monopoly.
one of 500 or whatever,
Okay.
right?
Star City Games buys an insane amount of Magic.
Yeah, that's fine. Maybe they got the first shipment from them. You know what I mean? And maybe
Like
that's
somebody's
got to
hit it somewhere. We don't. They didn't. They didn't
Yeah.
open the 69 Viscera tier.
Bob. The 1 of 1 has to be created on its own and inserted on its own, it's gonna be a thing, bro. Like it's like the Monopoly freaking McDonald's. I'm telling you,
Right,
they're
the
gonna
boardwalk
know.
piece.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. It is no other way. Come on, they already know it's worth more than $100,000.
Oh
I
shit, yeah, 100
disagree,
grand
and
so
I
low.
think they have far more to lose to be caught like that.
Mhm.
For what? For a 25-cent piece of cardboard to them?
Well, and
They
on
manufacture
that
something
note,
that has,
Bob, I think it's
and
a
if they
great
get busted that
example.
way,
Yeah.
no one will ever trust them again for any of those, and they lose the hype factor of that. I disagree. I don't think it's worth it to them for $100,000 or a $1 billion company. Not worth the risk.
Well, and
But
on that
it's
note, I also think that if they get that $250,000 card into a regular consumer's hand, imagine an 11-year-old down at an LGS in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, and he pulls the 1-of-1 ring, and all of a sudden it changes his entire community. That would be something incredible for Magic the Gathering to be able to make a piece on.
Pat,
I think that would be
you
really
are
big.
such a lovely
what is an
dreamer.
11-year-old kid doing opening $50 packs?
His grandma gave him some store credit. You know, he traded
But
in some
kids don't think
Pokemon
that way.
cards or
They're
something.
not
Look
gonna go,
at
"I'll buy
Pat
the
looking
one
at the
pack rather
bright
than
side of the
20
world.
packs."
Oh
Good for
man,
you,
I'm a
Pat. You're
dreamer. I'm
still
not
like
always
a-
the worst person in the world. It's
You're
also
still
that
like
the
an
weed's taking over
untouched-
and the alcohol's wearing off. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's,
You're like an untouched, pure, happy guy over there, just thinking about the good things. Look at you.
I'll be sad. I'll be honest. It's sad how untouched I've been.
Wow, I didn't need to know that part of you. But I think that there's a extreme likelihood that we don't see this thing for a long time, if ever. Right? Like you're gonna have these people like opening, Dominaria Remastered or United and not having a clue about that, or the guys that were opening the M30 packs not having a clue.
Yep.
And it's highly likely, I think, that we're going to see a lot of it kept sealed. I know I'm keeping my case of gift bundles sealed. What about you, Patty? You going to crack all yours hunting for that 101? I think it's silly to do that.
I have promised one of the gift bundles to Matt from Pure MTG. Big ups to him on doing a lot of the hard work. He actually reserved 2 different hotel stays for both him and I for our trip down to Gen Con so we can really enjoy Indianapolis. So I want to make sure that he gets a treat from that. And I feel a little bit sad about not queuing him in about some of the incredible values that Bob and I have been able to find on Amazon and a few other places from time to time.
Not me.
As far as the other
Sorry,
5,
Matt.
yeah, right. Sucks. Yeah, sucks to be you. For the other 5, honestly, I really think that I want to sell them off on the channel. I want to get some people a good value, and they're currently going for like $125, $130 for what I paid for it.
I'm just saying, I think there are going to be a large number of boxes kept sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that I think is pretty interesting is there's no numbers as far as that goes. I don't know. Even production numbers are pretty hard to get your hands on. And to go with that, the number of boxes that have been opened. I wonder how many sealed of X product there is all along the market. And
Nobody
when
knows.
it comes to collectors
On any
in
product.
this,
Not
Right.
even alpha. Nobody knows how
Yeah.
many alpha boxes are still in existence.
yeah. And as far as the collector's series in Lord of the Rings, with the biggest chase card being $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, there's easily a 6-figure card in one of those $3 million print run packs. I think it would be very interesting to see how many of this gets opened. If they continue to do something like this, it would force more and more people, artificially persuade people into opening more packs.
Well, and I'd like to bring up Twiddler's comment there about the 101 ring, and I don't agree. I wholeheartedly don't agree. I think people are undervaluing the soul rings in there. I mean, let's put it this way. So the Ragavan that's sold, and there's 500 of those, right? Let me ask you this. How many more decks play Soul Ring over Ragavan?
That's hand over fist, man.
Like, it's not even close to comparison.
Yeah, you can't because Soul Ring is an auto include in almost every deck. Ragavan is very niche.
So hold on. So that
How many
being
decks
said,
can play
the one-
Ragavan?
the one
Yeah.
of 500
Yeah.
Ragavan just sold for 10 grand, right? And there's 500 of them. How much do you think that one of
Yeah.
300 Elven Soul Rings is going to be worth?
Oh,
In my
okay,
opinion, it
yeah.
has to be worth more.
So
It has to be worth
okay, Bob. You know what that to me is? An invention.
Artificial scarcity.
Like if you think about all the soul rings together, what is it? 300 plus 500 plus 900?
No, it's 1900 total. It's 3, 7, and 9.
So think about inventions, right? Like maybe they were 4,000 or something like that. So I see that kind of like look at the soul ring for inventions, and they will give you a ballpark at least.
I don't think so because
You don't
it's
think
more
so?
like no. I think that the price difference between the Elven, Dwarven, and Human is going to be much like the.
Oh no.
Hidetsugu.
I agree that those three are going to have a disparity, but I'm talking about the average when you talk about all
But
together.
I don't want to average them because nobody averages out the Hidetsugus.
True.
and-
That's a good
I
point.
think
And I'm
one of
pointing
the
out-
hard
what I'm saying-
comparisons
what
with
I'm saying
that
is
is
in reference-
how much you would want to
reference
put a
to-
Soul Ring
to-
in a deck.
To
you
Twiddler's
know?
comment, because I've heard many people say the same comment. Oh, once the one of one ring is hit, I'm dumping. It's not worth anything. I think people are mistaken, and I think it would be a mistake to do that
Bob,
because of the soul ring.
there's precedent though for that in sports cards. When
There
the top
can
card
be,
is
but
hit in a set, like that set takes a hit sealed.
But again, what I'm saying is, I think that the soul ring is being undervalued, and ultimately down the
there-
road,
Agreed.
I do
agreed.
think it will. I do think you'll see a massive like drop off as soon as the one of one ring is hit, and then people will go, "Oh shit, wait a minute, somebody
That's what
hit."
I'm saying. There's levels.
ring.
There's levels to these things. You know what I mean? Like, and
And then you'll see it spike back up again.
exactly. Like, it's
Right.
not gonna be. It's hard to describe. Look, it'll take a hit, but then like over time, the gradual step ups. You know what I mean?
It's like the opposite of a plateau on a graph, right? What is that? It'll go bloop,
dip.
bloop,
A
and
valley.
It'll dip in a valley. Yeah, thank you. Fuck, I live in 5 of them, and then it'll probably go back up, and then it'll probably do this for a little bit.
By valley,
Yeah.
he means basement.
I'm just saying,
Yes, with
don't-
sunlight.
Don't discount the pull for a serialized Lord of the Rings Elven script,
I'm waiting for
one
the
of
dump.
300, right? And when people see that first one sells, I'm going to guess between 10 and 15,000. The one of 300 Elven Soul Ring will be between 10 and 15,000.
10 and 15. Interesting.
I think they're definitely going to be expensive cards, to say the very least.
And the least desirable numbers are probably going to be in that like 4,000 to 5,000 range.
I think more like 2, Bob. Because and the reason I
And
say
how do you
this,
explain Ragavan?
okay, you're talking about playables, but the reason I say this only is just because of the recently the Sivan Dragon of one of
Sivan
295.
Dragon? What the fuck is that? You do live in Connecticut. Sivan Dragon. Get the fuck out of here, Ed. Jesus Christ. Sorry.
Anyway,
Anywho,
the one from Philly, numbered to 295. Dan Bach has a outstanding offer, 1,500 to $2,000 for those, and he's got most of them at this point. But like,
Sivan Dragon was numbered?
it's not really played like Soul Ring, so it's kind of a different story. But the numbered, you know what I mean? 1 out of 295. Similar serial.
I don't find them similar at all. Soul Ring is the most prolific card in the Magic catalog.
I said similar serial, bro, not similar card.
Okay,
That's all.
but I that's my guess, and look, F me, I could be wrong. I'm just making my predictions, right?
I don't know. Look, I could see it being 2, like maybe 5.
He's using the proper pronouns, guy.
but not 10 or 15, bro. I think that's too expensive.
Then how do you explain Ragavan being 10 grand?
We killed Prime.
Like you would, I would guess you would never have predicted that one of 500 Ragavan would sell for $10,000, but it
That's
did.
so silly. I don't know.
Okay,
I
just
agree.
because
I
you think it's
agree.
silly,
Look,
that's what the
you know what
numbers
it
say.
is, Bob. You know what it is. Serialized cards are new to Magic, but like it's not new to the rest of the cardboard world.
I get you, and I think that eventually it'll probably settle more in line. Like probably where you're getting with that is that the real value ultimately down the line. But you can't really claim it for the other rest of the world because those are just collectibles. These are game pieces, and you cannot discount the rich fucks out there that want to play their serialized thing. You don't do that with sports cards, right?
Well,
they go to a table.
Posty's going to be like, I want it.
Like Rudy.
So
It's
that
the
was
same
that was like
principle
one of
as
the
to
comments
why
I've had. Yeah, I've been talking with
Hold on.
Bob about that behind the scenes, and Matt as well. It's like if I were to pull it, Bob did that. Like, what would you do, Pat? I was like, first thing I would do is like take a picture and be like, hey, this is me, and post that shit on the internet. He'd be like, hey, proof of ownership. Just put that shit out real quick. And be like, I'd contact Posty. I'd fucking fly out to LA. I'd go dune buggying. I'd fucking have a whole bunch of Bud Lights. We'd take some shrooms in the desert, and I'd sell him the card for $250,000. I think that would be pretty awesome.
What about like climbing Mauna Loa and throwing it into the lava and being
right, sacrifice it or something. No, that's cool and everything.
No,
but it's like cooler.
No one's ever
if
gonna do
not
that.
doing that. Yeah,
When
nobody's
you can pay
gonna
for your
take
house.
that kind of expense and throw it in the fucking volcano. That's
Yeah,
I love these people. You know who says that they're going to do that? Who would just tear it up, shred it, throw it in a volcano, burn it, whatever. The same asshole.
Rudy and Joey.
Yeah, reserve list. Bullshit.
Mm.
No, you're not.
No,
Like, I'm
totally.
sorry, you can say
It's
you want
throwing a
to
house
pull
into
all
the
that's not real.
volcano. It's so stupid.
Yeah,
Throw
like
it
a
out.
really
Yeah,
nice
bro.
house.
I would take
Bro,
a
I'm
proxy.
gonna
and do
retire
it.
in Southeast
Like,
Asia. That's like
proxy,
a
it's
fucking
lowering.
mansion.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
lowering, whatever. But it's nobody would
honestly,
burn
I
$1 million.
think it's going to be opened by someone who doesn't know what it is, and it's just going to be forgotten somewhere.
There's only
Yeah.
one person on the planet I could think that would actually realistically do that. Only one person I could really think of.
Who?
Mr. Beast.
Oh,
I could
yeah.
see him doing that. I really could.
Does he?
But he's a multimillionaire,
Does he F with
right?
Magic
And he'll
at all,
make
though?
multi-millions on that video because he has such a large audience. He's going to make $4 million burning $1 million card, right? Like
That's not
a
his
million
shtick.
views is like $5,000. Just like
That's
he's
not
like,
his like shtick though.
yeah, but what about 1 billion views, right? Man burns $1 million card, dude,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
Mr. Beast. Forget it.
It would actually be like man gives away $1 million card.
No, actually,
Like I would love
Bob,
to see him
you're
walk
wrong.
up to, like, the first
That's
new player.
that's more niche than what he does, man. Dude is more general. Like, Magic
No,
the Gathering. We
he'll-
chose a niche market, bro.
First off, hasn't he played Magic the Gathering Arena already for $50,000? I think
As
no
a
shit,
promotional thing.
He
Yeah.
has actually. You're right.
Also, he'll like just randomly show up to like Twitch streamers and tip
Yep.
$10,000.
Yeah.
He's like, stop blinking. I'm paying $1,000 every time you blink. On one of them, it's like so. At any rate, I could see like him doing something like that. Jake
was gonna
Paul,
say,
somebody
that's
needs to
something
shove
Jake
him
Paul
in the
would do.
volcano
Yeah.
with the fucking card.
Who's Jake Paul? Is that Logan Paul's
God.
brother? Why don't you shove
Yes.
Jake Paul up Logan Paul's ass and then toss him into a
Oh, these
volcano
fucking
With the
guys,
One
man.
Ring.
with the
I
One
hate
Ring
these guys so
in
much.
between somewhere?
Like just
What
asshat.
douchebags.
But
You see what's happening with Liquid Marketplace, man? That whole shit's falling apart.
I don't know
No,
what that
what is that? Tell us more about that, Ed.
Oh, that's Logan Paul's fractional
Also, bro,
shares
do you
marketplace.
have to have all of your lights off? What the fuck is happening to you?
I live in
Like-
the dark, man.
He's a vampire, man.
It's nice
It's
and
like-
comfortable, man.
It's like Bane's stepbrother.
I have
It's like
remote.
dude, we mentioned the One Ring and he went all Gollum
Yeah,
in his
man.
cave.
like
He's
Yeah,
trying
it
to
is
find his
a dark-
treasure.
there we go. Yeah, there we
he's
go.
like,
There you
I
go.
choose not to do this.
need
I
to-
want to make
you
sure
need to-
all these
Ed, you need to speak in Gollum voice for the rest of the stream if you're going to be in the dark.
or Bane. I was born of the darkness.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. But yeah.
Oh my
fucking-
god,
Tell me
having too
about
much
this like
fun.
liquid
Do you guys know what
marketplace or whatever.
fractional like shares in like collectibles.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what he did, like with his game too,
Yeah.
though. Like that's the egg game that he was kind of trying to create. What was it called? Animal Farm Bestiality, something or other. I don't know.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But
Where you,
okay,
like,
he just,
buy
he
eggs
just
and-
falls asleep. I can't tell. Like if he stops talking for too long, like
I see movement.
luckily he's wearing
All right.
glasses.
Yeah,
so
if he
everyone's
goes
So,
back
I
further.
think we've digressed to the point where I should probably start doing some opening shit before people fall asleep in Ed's corner. Do you guys want to see me open some shit?
I don't know,
Sure.
dude. People seem to be loving this shit.
Well, I want to
But,
open them
but
anyway.
okay,
Yeah,
let me
there we go.
explain it. Let me explain it. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
tell us
you
about
can
this
buy
today.
like they bought a Black Lotus, right? And then they made 10,000 I don't know,
Shares.
NFTs. Like they're actually NFTs, but they act as coins. You know what I mean? They made some bullshit. Okay. They divided up into 10,000 and they're like, yeah, you can buy each one for whatever X amount of price, right? And if it goes up in value, we'll sell it and you can like profit in that like a stock. But
Sounds like a
no one's
Ponzi
ever going to
scheme to
own
me.
enough to sell these items. So you have no control over like an illiquid asset as is. Okay. Now you have no control over that liquidity. First of all. Okay. And now at this point, you can sell maybe like, I don't know, 20 shares at the appropriate amount. But then the next like amount that the buy amount is going to be like a third the price. So when you actually try to liquidate the shares, like you're making a quarter of what you think the shares are worth. It's ridiculous. Like it's kind of like
Oh, so it's like a
asset
weird
bonus.
pyramid scheme kind
Yeah,
of. a deal.
yeah,
That's what it
yeah,
sounds
totally
like,
is.
yeah.
Well,
Or,
that's
or
the
It's
same
what,
thing
do-
with
what do
the
they
game
call
other
it?
people
An
do.
buy
inverted
you
triangle.
notices and shit, man. Like that's all it is.
But that's why he got sued over the. Does anybody know the name of that actual game that he made where he got sued and that one dude YouTuber like called him out on it, did the
I
whole.
might over time if I think about it for like a little bit.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Oh, I got to turn my other camera on. I don't even have it on.
I do. I just don't remember.
At any rate, but
Yeah,
it was the same idea where he was selling eggs that you hatch and then they're NFTs and then you incubate them and then you crossbreed them with other higher value eggs and like it was just a bunch of fugazi, you know. It
That
was-
sounds like a fucking scheme. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
sounds like a-
it's
No doubt.
it's the
That's
it's
the way
the
he operates,
play
right?
to earn bullshit, man.
Yeah, pay to earn.
but it'll never
Play
be
to earn.
worth anything, right? And
Never.
it can't be.
Unless you're the first who figures out how to farm it and how to duplicate and all that bullshit, like Diablo or anything else from back.
Well,
in the day.
that translates how Bitcoin is farmed too, because I literally just found out how Bitcoin is farmed.
It's just processing power.
It literally is processing power and motherfucking nerds with goddamn nothing but time on their hands.
Yeah.
Fucking looking at
computers.
code.
Yep.
So okay. So
And my
alright.
dad was telling me about it. He's
There's
like-
two
he's
levels
like,
of
he
it,
does what
though.
Bob does.
There's what everybody's doing when electricity is low enough or when Bitcoin is high enough. It pays to suck power from the freaking grid to produce
Right.
Bitcoin on your GPUs, right? So you have
Right.
processing power. What you're selling at that moment is processing power.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, now think about if your house has solar
Mhm.
and you're producing your electricity for free and you're just using the extra electricity to produce Bitcoin. That's a completely different approach than like what everybody's thinking. Your house
Okay.
should be making money for you, man. Like
Right.
that's
That makes sense. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's just think about where your electricity is coming from, like, and so in terms of Bitcoin, it depends where they're getting electricity as to
Okay.
whether it's
Yeah.
worth it or not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had a
That's
friend who
not
had a solar farm on his property, and he had a couple of mining rigs. And
There you go.
over a summer, he ended
That's a
up doing
killer
pretty
app, man.
decently. Also, what up, Ben Affleck? And thank you everybody for joining us this evening. I think Bob is currently either one asleep or trying to change.
No,
his
I'm
camera
not asleep.
angle.
I'm trying to.
No,
I'm
fucking
trying to
with
get
you.
my damn
Yeah,
camera.
no,
in the dark.
I was gonna say, or he's trying to change his camera angle so that he can do some opening. He's
Joined
recently
me
got
in the
some.
dark.
Yeah, right.
Well, now
No,
I don't have a
bro.
remote. That was cool.
Yeah,
So,
look, I
Brian's
can
gonna
blind myself.
Well, so on that note, I also recently picked up 100 foot of LED controllable light strip and
That's sick.
some like shelves and stuff. So I think I'm gonna try and like spice up the background. Like I said to Bob and Matt when I joined up on Pure MTG, now I get to feel accountable to 2 other people as well. When I'm making my content, it's not just me kind of screwing around doing my own thing. So I get to, feel a little bit more responsible with the type of stuff I'm bringing to the table. So I want to spice things up here behind me. And
Let's go. Let's open some shit.
I'm not going
I
to
have
say
no
I'm
idea how to
going
turn-
all sorts.
Anybody know which one this actually is?
I do. You could get Vamp out of it, so it's that one. DJ opened his last night. He pulled a Vamp tutor.
Yeah, I was
Wait,
watching some of his.
Vampiric tutor? I saw him open
Yeah.
a demonic tutor.
Oh, Demonic Tour. Sorry.
Is that convention?
Wow, Prime.
or-
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, it's
Retail?
convention.
It says convention, but they both said like Pat and I tried to figure this. This is like I
There's
told
no
you, you
clue.
have to get a damn PhD. You
Mhm.
you multiply the mystery times the booster with the convention square
right.
to the
Mm.
hypotenuse of the right angle of the magic on the square
all
of the
about
box.
packaging,
It's
too.
What the fuck is it?
That
I don't
mystery
know.
is
So, wait,
straight. The
hold
other
on.
one's sideways.
So what's weird, Dennis, is you can't tell, but Ed's actually opening a box of it right now too. Oh
But-
shit! Oh
Oh,
fuck!
you guys see this? Look at
He
that.
do-
They gave me a pre.
Oh, we pissed the dog off.
Look
Is
at that.
this is retail
Watsy's
though?
finished already.
And, like,
pre-sliced.
Wait,
You see that?
Bob. Where's the difference? What does it say convention? Like, because this is the retail
Turn
one.
it on the edge. Turn the edge on the front. Look at the front of it. Oh, yours doesn't say it.
This is retail. That's why.
Yeah, he's got a retail
Yeah.
edition. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
mine says right there. Buzzing.
Look at that. Okay, I was. Oh, there too, underneath the booster.
Yeah. And
Okay,
it has
curious.
the curved edge here,
Curious.
and it does
okay.
not have the magic symbol up here.
Wow. Oh
So I
yeah,
don't know
look at
which-
that. That's interesting.
I
Because
don't
it
really
doesn't
know
say
which one it
retail
is.
edition or
I
anything.
love
you
the
know?
look on Pat's face, though.
well, no, I'm reading a
But
text
That
message.
upsets
My
me,
buddy,
though. Like,
my buddy was
Does
just
that
like,
piss
"Hey,
anybody
I
off?
got this plant. You want it?" And I was like, "Shit, yeah, I
you
do."
guys see that nice slice that they gave me in my fucking wrapped box?
Oh,
Thanks, Watsy. That's
well,
direct
I
from
guess you have
Watsy.
to open that one.
No.
MTG CSI.
Right?
But it's like,
Look, we
what
have all.
product did I buy?
Let me not show my. Oh, why is it not? Oh, too zoomed. Uh oh.
Yes, the
There we go.
freaking
Is that
pins,
good?
man.
How do I? How do
only
my
one.
hands look? Ed, you wanted that. Take a screenshot. There
Yeah,
it is.
hold on a
The
second.
only time it's going to exist.
Boom.
Woo!
Screenshots. Okay.
Are you going to hold our feet to the floor when we're all so fucking wrong about our?
I'm just gonna be so curious to see like the percentage
How
of
close-
like, because I feel like there's got to be
Ah.
at least 10
Hey,
to
Fiddler,
20%
thank you
of
for
those
being
on
here.
in there.
All right.
I think it's
So-
actually just mail.
I have no idea if there's like any info in here that's like sensitive. So
Yeah, Bob's about to dox himself.
Right?
all right. So there's one card. I got a card. It's a magic card, by the way.
It's a magic card.
Let's try to speed this up, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, while you do that, let's go ahead and just like keep a conversation going, anyways.
Yeah,
So
put,
I
like, Benny
took
Hill. We
the
didn't use it.
cards.
I have
From
sealed
my,
stuff too.
Yeah, right. I
No, but the
took all
difference
the
is I
stuff
don't
from my
wanna open mine.
pre-release down to the store. Prime that Elish Norn that was the
Mhm.
pre-release promo,
Yeah.
$40.
Damn, really?
Yeah,
Did he let
made for
you- Did he let you swap
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so I traded that and a couple of other things for 2 Dominaria remastered collectors boosters.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sick.
so I'm gonna go ahead
Okay.
and make some shorts of that.
Yeah,
I've got a
okay.
whole bunch of stuff as far as like pack cracking for content on the channel. Pure MTG, of course, that is. and spice that portion up. We're going to try and get a couple of more subscribers on board. We want to present a lot of different stuff to people when they tune in, and we're going to try and make some weekly specials. So Wednesdays we're going to be doing our D&D campaign live on the channel, and then Saturdays, of course, you're getting Cardboard Conversations. But we're also thinking about some other gameplay stuff, maybe some multiplayer video games. We've also, done some Minecraft behind the scenes. We started a server, and boy, that was a huge fun Minecrafting with these fellas. There's a couple of other new multiplayer games we'd really like to present. If any jump out to you guys in the audience, or if it's something you guys as content creators would want to get in on, let us know.
Yo, Pat, I've been talking to Prime about StarCraft.
Wait, are you in your kitchen? Like, who am I looking at? Is this what the fuck is happening? Like, I'm really just jesting with you because this is super funny. This is just a good ongoing joke.
Like, where are you?
So
are you in the bathroom again?
Blow me up.
I was born in the darkness.
I'm only going to open one of the two.
Blow me up.
I'm only going to open one of these two. I'm going to let you guys pick left or right. Can you put a poll
to
up?
the left because it's the right thing to do.
No, I want the audience to pick, not you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, these people.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead.
People?
I'm going to make
a
poll.
All right, so let's go ahead and
unslow
roll what I've been buying. Looks like I didn't get more. I got it. I thought one.
Oh, you guys can't make polls yet. We're not at 1,000.
What? No, can we?
No, you have to be at
polls.
I got a hey neighbor. We want to buy your house. Go fuck off.
I don't even know how to make polls.
Yeah, I don't
right,
think we can make polls here unless we're at 1,000.
Ooh. So
we got 3 for the left, 1 for right.
What's that?
3 for the left, 1 for the right.
Oh shit, Johnny Zert's here. He's exerting his power for voting on the left-hand side.
Can you hear anybody on the show? I can hear them. They're saying that nobody. My mom came down saying they can't hear me. Can people not hear me on chat? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I just
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, she is 84.
It definitely works. All the audio comes through for everybody.
All right.
Yeah,
so there we go. This
screen,
is.
so yeah.
Come on. So there we go. That's the Wood Elves for the. Thank you, Johnny. Mom is 84, so it doesn't surprise me. I can't hear you. So this is the 30th anniversary. Wood Elves. I'll definitely play them. They're definitely good enough to put in my elf deck. But I just like these, and I like the idea of these. People were like, "Oh, WotC's only doing M30." No, they're not. I think these are baller. Like I don't even like
it's Temple of the False Gods. Yeah,
nice.
That's an underrated card.
Yeah, that's
it works.
That's good.
It works.
That's a good one.
Hot. I just like the look of that. And so I'm trying to get all of them. Come on. Hopefully this is the one I really hope it is. It is dope. No, Tortoise, I'm not tearing up a token. Yes, I just had to do it. I could not help myself because I thought this is one of the sweetest arts that they have out there for this card. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this one.
Looks, what is that, Japanese?
Yes. Do you know what this card is?
Nope.
You can see it's the 30th anniversary. It says it right there.
Sarah Angel.
It is Sarah Angel. Look at that artwork.
Wow, that is a waifu right there. Yo, for sure.
I
bet Matt would pay twice market value for that.
Magic has just barely tapped into that whole thing with Jumpstart 2022. They're gonna realize.
So yes, it is Sarah Angel, and I think that is my like short of the. I actually like beta better than alpha. But short of the, I don't know. I like the art better, but I think I'd rather have a beta, not just because of the price, but just because of the OG value of it. All right, so we can't have people pick in the audience. We had left, right. How many lefts and rights do we have? Looks like we have 3 lefts.
3 lefts and 1 right. So left.
So I'm going right. All right, so that's the left back. Here we go.
Yeah, right.
before I open it, I want to share with
I
you guys
choose
what I saw on
D's
the back.
nuts.
So I don't know what these are. I like a dragon. I want to say that's the blue waffle. I
Yep.
don't have.
There's
One of them's a Charizard. I know that.
Emrakul.
Charizard, shut the fuck
Right,
up,
but there's,
Brian.
I really bought these hoping that I could open a Avacyn, but apparently that was like a vendor item only.
Yeah, you had to at first you could trade them other pins for it, but then you had to buy it from them.
Oh, look,
I've actually heard there's a
pack.
1% chance you can get a
my pack in the
condom.
pack for you. So this
It's
is
a
how they
Rough
come.
Rider.
Yeah, right.
Pack
So
in
You
the
get
pack
a
in the
used
pack.
Trojan. It's
All right, so I'm gonna open the back and hopefully open it from the back. Kickity backdoor access.
Ah.
And I don't know if it's going to spoil what it is. To slow roll it because these jokers ain't cheap.
No.
Oh, I think it does give away what it is. So that's what Elvish Visionary. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Maybe it looks like it. Yeah,
Does
yeah,
have the
yeah.
M30 on the
Okay.
back. Y'all.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty sweet looking though. And they're oversized cards just to give you guys reference
Yep.
to like the size of an actual Magic card.
They're big.
So that's
They're
what we have
meaty.
here.
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if you take it off the thing, you could play. I get my Elvis Visionary and play it.
This gigantic regular creature. That's
Oh my god.
fine.
Somebody's gonna make a medium-sized deck because people have made the huge decks before. You know that,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And the mini
Oh,
deck.
well, so that's one of the things about being
There
a
we have it,
proxy
folks.
player is the site that I most oft order from has actually an ability to give you very large oversized cards. So you can get some really cool stuff from those. I've been looking at getting some like postcard sized play decks, and I think that would be a super fun experience. Bob, that
like
looks
that.
very cool. I love the quality enamel that they put on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
definitely
I gotta
nice.
say I am impressed with the quality, and it's got some heft to it. Like it's
Yeah.
no joke.
I've used that line before too.
But
And now
no,
I
it's
don't know what to
definitely an
do with it. Like, how do
underestimated
I keep
item from the show. You know, like although Bob, that playmat from Philly, the freaking brainstorm, oh boy, that thing is going nuts. It's like a $500 playmat now.
So that's
wow.
one of the things about going to a convention like Gen Con is the availability of certain products being so limited, and a lot of them, the vendors, that is, there are going to be over 500 different vendors at this. It is considered the world's largest board gaming event in the world. So this is going to be a pretty cool thing as far as exclusivity. So I think that
Look at
that's
that
going to be a big
fit.
part of it as we go around to a
Gotcha.
lot of different events. You know, whether it be Magic the Gathering, we're going to see Catan, a lot of other premier stuff. So it should be pretty fun. And picking up some stuff like this, and also from Lorcana, if I can get my hands on some specialty items from them, boy, oh boy, that would be something.
So that is it for me opening shit. I'm done opening. No, I'm not opening a box. But I could be Ed Broseph. When are you gonna get a rig? I don't know how to point to it.
Yeah, seriously, do you play
So you-
do you actually play Magic?
I haven't played in the longest time, and I've been meaning to
Jesus
start
Christ.
playing. I really
Commander
have.
Raids is really truly the place to go and get started again. You can get your feet underneath you. You can get used to playing cards again. It's
Yeah,
unsalty.
you
at
know,
all.
Bob. I've been saying it for freaking
Come on,
months
man.
and months and months. Like, damn it, I mean to. It's
I'm gonna keep beating on you until you say yes.
Yeah, no,
I even got Brody to play,
I really
so.
mean to, like,
Even Brody played.
Yeah,
You're behind Brody.
Brody freaking got into some major vintage action back in Vegas.
Yeah, he did. Holy shit.
Dude, he met with what's his name? Daniel Craig
Chang.
or whatever.
Daniel Craig.
I was gonna say Daniel Radcliffe. Where are we going with this?
He did
Just
not
name
meet
random
James Bond.
actors.
Some Asian man.
Some Asian man. Oh wow. We're
God,
Secret?
we are getting old.
gonna
Bob,
get,
yeah.
we're gonna get a strike on that one.
Yeah.
Golly. All
Joe,
right.
actually, that's a pain in the ass at the flea market. Is people like to play music on their radios.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So,
for
like,
sure.
I gotta
get
stop
that.
recording a lot. Actually,
You're like,
because
stop playing Daddy Yankee so loud.
yeah, and it's always some dumb stuff on like an old radio. It's like I get the meme already, guys.
So
It's like
did I would love to do this. Like,
Commander
I
raids
know
my
you're not ready to
decks.
play, but can we have you? Can we have you, Ed, sit in with us and watch a game of Commander Raids? Do we want to do that? We can continue talking and throw some cardboard. Are you guys up for that?
Yeah, I could at least, sit in and check it out and discuss what's happening,
Yeah, ask questions, and I think it would be great if Pat. I don't want to like twist people's nipples, but I love to play.
I
Folks.
really
do. I'm
don't
like,
want
shut up
that
and play.
either. I've actually talked about cutting him off before, but that's like a different discussion for a whole
I'm
other
gonna switch
stream.
my view. I'm ready to go, folks. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to rock out with my socks out. Let's do it.
I was gonna say I'm super excited to have Ed here watch me play with my deck.
Oh boy.
I'm super happy
I
to be
just
around
need
both
dinner.
Ed and Prime. And you know
I
what
just-
you know what this party's
Did
missing?
you say I need dinner or ate dinner?
I need dinner.
So Prime, you're saying you're not down for a game, yeah?
At this specific moment, no. Give me like 20 minutes.
Prime's
fine.
like dying of hunger.
He's like my sugar level, son. No, hey,
About to
dude,
pass out
you
on his
go take care of
keyboard.
that. We're gonna flip around some camera angles. We're gonna get this set up. Maybe Bob and I get in a 2-player game, and if you are inclined
Actually,
so to come back and play,
Well,
I
some
we
more.
don't have to stop.
gotta wake up at 5 for the flea market, boys. I should be getting to sleep soon anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll throw down real quick. You'll see how quick it is, which is what I really want to impress on you, Ed.
Okay.
This is like one of the fastest, and I'll play my hug
Cool.
deck so it goes fast. It's a super fast format. It's super unsalty. Like when Pat said he was playing 2-hour games of Commander, because that's not uncommon. I've seen it on other channels, like Jake and Joel, when they're trying to get a game in, and it's like 3 fucking hours, and it's like,
That's a bit much.
brutal.
Yeah,
So-
I don't want any part of that noise.
Pat said he played 3 games in 6 hours yesterday.
5,
right?
yeah, 3 games in 6 hours.
Yeah, no thanks. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do standard rules. You can see the rule set. Oh shit, how do I do this? I need to get the rules up. Need to get it up. But once you get the rules, and oh boy, how am I gonna do this? I guess we just do it over. We're just gonna do it straight over StreamYard here.
Yeah.
All you need is a D20, right? You need a D20, maybe some paper to keep track of like the monsters. I printed out these tokens, and if you like, and you start playing, I'll actually send you some for free. I made these with AI. Woo!
Oh, that's
Pretty
cool.
They have all the keywords on it. I don't know if you can see it. If it's like, there you go. They're flying death,
I can see it.
artifact, enchantment, creature, minion, with defender, blah blah blah. They're XX, which is the amount of dice you roll, is their power and toughness for that.
I just went to the optometrist. That was like the eye exam.
What's that?
Reading the card, man.
What-
That was like the
what-
eye exam at the optometrist. Bro.
What's funny is that everybody loves to point out that there's a red underline on the death touch, like it's misspelled, and I didn't like cut that out before I had them printed up. So the
You
spell
better
correct,
check
like,
your
hey, this is a
spelling there,
misspelled
Bob.
word. But it's actually that's the way you spell it. It's just not a real word.
Yeah, I know.
Death touch is not a real word. Go figure.
So for this evening's game, I'm going to go ahead and play Edric, Spymaster of Tress.
Oh.
One of my favorite and most played decks. I've got a lot of familiarity with this one. It's kind of an elf ball sort of deal. So this one should be pretty straightforward.
So Ed, how are you feeling about something like what we were talking about earlier? Like, I want to get more fun into the whole community by like playing, doing like events that are sort of not focusing so much on the value of things and the guffaws of WotC, and like maybe get packs. Like I could even see getting into a game with you. Now it'll be a little pricey if we crack some Fallen Empires packs and build a deck.
See, I kind of like that idea, man.
Like if we do, just get like, but there's only like 8
Yeah.
cards in a pack though, right?
I kind of, I've had
Be very expensive.
conversations in the past year about playing something like what I used to play, which was like Ice Age and earlier. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
But do that like what we did with the 4-player free for all yesterday. You know what I mean? It's fun. It's a little more fun to have like a dynamic that's not just head to head. But it might be a little pricey for what did Fallen Empire is like $12 a pack now for 8 cards.
Maybe
in order to
15,
make a 40 card deck.
Maybe 15 each pack. So times 5, right?
Nah, you'd have to get more than 5 packs.
Yeah, you'd probably have to get like 9.
Somewhere in that
like
ballpark.
That. Yeah. And there's
so it'd be like $150 thing.
Yeah.
So that'd still be down. But we'd have to promote it. I mean, that'd be as big as I want to. I'm gonna keep it. It's a shitty hand, but I'll wait.
I got a decent hand. So what we do is we play 30 life per player on the baseline mode. That's kind of our standard action. So I'm going to go ahead once my camera comes back. Thank you, internet in the Northeast.
The boss has 60 life, right? And Pat and I each have 40 life.
So like I'll draw for turn. I'm going to throw a forest on the battlefield, tap the forest, play a Llanowar Elves, and pass turn over to Bob.
All right, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to throw down a Misty Rainforest, crack it, paying 1 life, and go get... I think I'm just going to go with dual lands because it's just easier. Well, no, because first turn, it just makes more sense to go get the Triome. And I will pass the turn, so you can go ahead and get started. I'm just going to shuffle up after that.
So that brings us to the end of round 1. So I'll untap, draw a card. I'm going to go ahead, throw an island on the battlefield. I'm going to tap the Llanowar Elves, the forest, the island for cultivate.
Maybe we should back that up just a touch. So it was turn 1, and the boss monster doesn't roll dice on turn 1. It's there's a formula. It's the round number. So that was round number 1 divided by 2 rounded down, right? So it's 0.5 rounded down, 0 dice. Or you can just think of it, add an additional die for the boss monster every even round. So he'll have 1 at the end of this next round. Sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
All right, so I'll play my island. I'll tap the island, the forest, and Llanowar Elves for cultivate. I'm going to search my library for 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield. 1 on the battlefield tapped, 1 into my hand, and I'll pass over turn.
All right, I'm going to untap, upkeep, draw. Geez, stop with the land already. I'm going to throw another fetch land, crack it, lose 1 more life. I'm going to go get a dual land and pass a turn. So this is going to be turn number 2 for the boss, and he's actually going to roll 1. You can go ahead and roll since I'm just throwing a land out there. He can't interfere with lands, so I'm going to go get a tropical island. Does not have to
and I got us a 17. So 17 on the Commander Raids baseline monster roll table. A 17 is destroy target creature with the highest CMC for each player. So for me, that's going to be that there Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, for each opponent.
So it's like a swipe at all, yeah.
Yeah. So Pat and I are not opponents, right? Our only opponent is the boss monster, and everybody else is the boss monster's opponent. So cards that reference opponent work slightly differently, than it does in normal Commander. So we have to pay attention to that ruling, and it's on you or me.
Yep, my turn. So I'll untap and draw a card. At this point, I'm going to go ahead. I'll throw another forest on the battlefield. I'll tap 3, a forest, and an island to get Edric, Spymaster Tress on the battlefield. And I'll pass over turn to Bob.
All right. Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to go ahead and throw a forest into play, tap all 3, and put out Unstable Harmonics, which is Rhystic Study.
Very nice.
From the Arcane Secret Lair.
Totes.
Did you watch that, Ed?
What?
Arcane?
No, I did not.
Oh, on Netflix. So good, man.
Really?
And I'm not even really
good
into
series.
anime.
Yeah,
Well, I'll have to check it out then.
yeah.
It's
I've
about
heard it's
League of
like really
Legends,
good.
but I don't play League of Legends as I did a dozen years ago. But it's so good. It was really, really, really good. I think so, anyways.
So, Bob, that's going to bring us to the end of round 3. Why don't you go ahead,
Round
roll us up a d20, and see what we can do?
All right, a 3. So that's going to trigger Ristic Study. He can't pay, so I draw. Oh, nice.
And it's going to
destroy
be
target
destroyed-
legendary permanent.
Yeah. Oh, god dang it! There goes my
Wow.
Edric.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Life sucks.
And then you die.
Mm-hmm. So I'll untap, draw for turn, and let's go ahead. Might as well throw a friggin' island out. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna tap it all and play Edric again.
There you
Tap
go.
5.
Go get him, boy.
Yeah, fuck it. And
All right.
Bob, you're up.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
So it's like, no,
I'm
but
gonna-
Ed, I want to do this.
I'm going to drop a planes. I'm going to tap those 3 to play a noble benefactor and pass the turn. It is turn number 4. So we're going to roll 2 dice now. Remember, I said every even turn, Ed, we add 1 more die. I'll roll the first one. It's a 9. We can son of a bitch. You can only draw 1 and play 1 until the raid monster's next turn.
And I get
I will
a
draw on that roll.
2.
And so now I can't draw on that roll because of the 9.
Oh, god damn it. 2 is
say 2?
sacrifice all creatures.
Okay, actually, that's really good. So
No, it's
noble
fucking good out,
benefactor.
Bob.
No, it's
Suck
really
a
good.
Dick.
You know,
Fuck
it's
you.
good. Yeah, I think
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
like it.
Tell me how it's good.
Okay, fine. Go tutor anything out of your deck and put it in your hand.
Yeah, but not on the battlefield, right?
Oh my god! Tutoring any card is not good enough.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry.
Bro, it's
Wow, I
like
can't
turn
please everybody.
4, and I've lost my commander twice. Like, what the fuck statistics
Whose
is this?
fault is that?
Yours. I blame you for everything, Bob, as always.
That sounds true.
It does. That follows, honestly. So that means it's going to be my turn. So I'll untap, draw a card. I'm going to go ahead, throw a forest on the battlefield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Yeah. Forest. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no.
I'll tap
Don't
6.
tap. Don't tap. Don't tap. Don't tap. Keep it untapped. Keep
Why?
everything.
Why, Bob? Why?
Because I'm going to collect a voyage.
See, you got to use all the words. You have to entice me.
Because
For
I was still in the midst of tutoring, and we.
but
still
I
have to
really
roll-
want to play Wolverine Riders.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely going to play Wolverine Riders for 6.
Suck a dick.
Yeah, well, I don't know what
It's
to tell
gonna
you,
die.
man.
It's gonna die, right? And
I don't
then
know why
you're
you
gonna
say
wish you
that.
had all the lands.
It
instead.
might die. That's what that is. And then I'll pass turn.
Untap. Wow. You see what I had to put up with, Ed? All right, so I'm going to do
Yeah,
this
right.
instead.
I want
this
to play
turn.
mine.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna,
wanna
I'm
keep-
gonna ramp us. No,
Oh,
that's
and I
creature.
create an elf warrior token and I gain a life. Yeah, see, I'm already getting value. Like I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so I'm going to tap 5. Then fine, I'll be
It's-
selfish, and I'll
it's like
play
we're- yeah,
Mirari's Wake, and I'll
absolutely.
pass the turn.
Yo, for sure.
I was going to
5.
hit space bar. Right, we got 2 dice. Go ahead, roll it up.
Yo,
what
for
you
real,
got?
right? I've definitely reached for the space bar at least 3 times. In
'Cause, for Ed,
11.
what that means is on spell table, if you hit space bar,
Mhm.
there's a ring around each of our play areas, and there's a gold like ring around whose ever turn it is when you hit the
Like
space bar.
passes the turn.
Yeah.
Kind of track
gotcha.
the turn. So that's what we're saying.
So in 11, destroy target enchantment with the highest CMC. I don't
Okay, cool.
have one of those.
Actually, I'm
Yeah.
going to draw off of that, and then
You
I'm
should
going
totally
to
risk it,
destroy
yeah,
Mirari's
for sure.
Wake, and
Wow,
I
wow.
will roll a 19. That kind of sucks. X out of your graveyard and drain 2 X DR. So that's the first time we're coming up with DR, Ed. That's a number
Yeah.
of dice rolled. We rolled 2 dice this turn for the boss monster. So we're going to drain 2 times at each. So we each lose 4. and the boss gains 8.
So it's up to 68 now.
It is up to 68, but I'm going to draw another card from Mystic Study off of that. Hot shit.
It's
Now,
Rizzle.
do you want to pop? Do you want to pop Collective Voyage on this turn?
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna save the shit for that. Yeah, I'm gonna like
Okay.
beast mode that. I'm gonna put a
Wait
bunch
till you
in
see
there.
this card. It is.
Oh
just
yeah, it's
disgusting.
so fucking broken. So my buddy played it today in a landfall deck, and everybody was like, "Wait, we can all get 17 lands." And I was like, "Yeah, we all get So I'm gonna untap, draw for my turn. I'll play Tide Channel Pathway. Oh, I also get to create another Elf Warrior token at the beginning of my turn, gaining 1 more life, back up to 39. I might as well go ahead and attack for 6, bringing that raid monster back down to 62.
I printed
And
this out,
I'll
by the way.
end up passing turn over to Bob at that point.
3D printer.
And
I
when
have a lot of cards in my hand.
At Bob's upkeep, I'm just going to merge my tokens. I create another one, and I'll just make all of them tapped at 4, and I gain 1 more life.
All right, so I'm going to play an island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck. I'm going to end up having to ditch a bunch of cards, but I think it's not going to matter much. All right, so I'm going to pay 1, and I'm pumping in 5. What are you going to pay towards it? So here's the card.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll throw 7 at it. Go down a little bit with it. Oh, there it is. So starting with you, each player may pay an amount of mana. Each player searches their library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the total amount of mana paid this way. Puts them on the battlefield tapped and shuffled. So I've put 7 into this.
That's pretty crazy.
And I pumped 5 into it. What's that?
So that means we get 12.
That's pretty
So we get
crazy.
to go search our libraries for 12 basic lands and put them into play tapped. 1, 2,
A little bit of catch up.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, I didn't want to put a lines in, but I guess 12.
So one of the great things about Commander Raids is how it's a cooperative format. So by Bob posing, Pat, you should save some mana so that we can each get a huge payoff by a cooperative effort to, you know, kind of game the system, because the raid monster very soon. Yeah.
So
it's a different way to play Commander for sure.
I think this is overkill, so I'm going to pitch that because I have to get down to hand size. I don't know if you've ever seen this card, Ed. So basically, it's a one-sided. Like I have to pay everything, but everybody gets to go get X basic lands. So I can, like, if Pat had tapped out, this is what I would have played. But I'm over my hand size, so I have to pitch, and that will make it turn 6 for the raid monster.
Totally true. And now it's gonna start getting rough, McGruff. So I'll start us off. Let's go ahead, get back to regular framing. A single die. Oh shit, 1. That's never fun. 1 is. Oh.
So I'm going to draw off of that first, at least.
Oh, right, yeah. A 1 is each one of us discards 2, mills 2, sacrifices a legendary permanent, an enchantment, and an artifact. I actually get to create one more elf token. 41.
I am not.
So discard 2. Go ahead, get rid of that. Go ahead, get rid of that. Mill 2. That's even just more fun.
Oh yeah, I got a mill 2. That sucks.
I don't have any legendary permanents.
Oh,
so
that's actually pretty good. That was not bad for me.
Or artifacts. Okay, that's fine. Well, Bob, you're up for a roll.
Sorry, I'm still straightening out the lands from that ridiculous Mm-hmm. Once there was this kid who 10 damage to each of us. That sucks.
Okay.
24.
I'm down
so we need
to
one more die.
31. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and see what kind of game I can make it. Is an 8. Okay. So an 8 is until the beginning of the raid monster's next turn, we cannot draw more than one card or play more than one spell per turn. So that definitely hampers things a little bit, but let's see what I can do. I'll untap, draw for turn. That's the one. Oh, I also get to create another Elf Warrior token. So I'm going to merge that pile and just put this to a 5. That works. I can only play one spell per turn. Oh, well, shit. I know what I'm going to play. Fuck yeah, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 mana. So I'm going to tap 19 for Biomass Mutation. Creatures I control have base power toughness 17/17 until end of turn. And I attack with 5 17/17s and another 17/17. So 6 times 17, and we win the game.
And
Nice.
that's the game, folks.
Yeah, working together. Yeah, I could see that.
But like, if you don't get rolling, when we didn't pop off with that one, that's what this deck is designed to do. I generally don't win, but I generally like enable others to win. But you get the basic idea. Like, it's a very different way of looking at Magic.
No, I get it. It's like it's not competitive, more so as supportive.
And we've got a number of different tables made up for different difficulties, as it were. And we've also worked on themes for certain releases. We've got a monster made up for the Lord of the Rings. So it's supposed to be a Sauron themed raid monster. So as different releases come out, you have a different type of thematic experience as you go up against it. And because its life is based on the number of players, it actually scales reasonably well. Also scaling down. So if you want to kind of goldfish, it's a different way to, instead of having to pretend, it would kill this creature, it would kill this enchantment, you can roll against it, kind of like a D&D raid, a roll table.
Yeah, so it's just a better way to goldfish your own deck, I think. At least it's doing some sort of interaction with yours, rather than just like, I wonder how this would play out. I imagine they would play this. It's not perfect, and it's not really designed for that, but it'll work for it, and I like it better than just running, a deck out.
And speaking of some sort of interaction, I want to say thank you again for joining us. Not just you, Ed, but everybody else down here in the comment section, and also to Prime. Always a phenomenal guest. You two, good old Dual Brain MTG. I can't believe you stopped by and had a great chat with us this evening.
Yeah, dude.
I look forward to the next time we get to do it again, too.
Yeah, it was good. Definitely.
And I think with that, I mean, do you have anything you want to announce? I've been trying to catch your streams, but I don't know.
I've been random with it, bro. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. I mean, I always have I didn't have it for a month or two, but I have the scheduled first Saturday of every month at 8 p.m. Like that's going to be continuing. I am going to try and do some charity thing. I don't have it all figured out yet, so I don't want to talk about anything like that yet, but stuff like that happening. Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's just I can't think of it right now, Flea market tomorrow too.
Oh shit, that happened. I thought I heard
Bob's computer is going to start frying soon.
I thought I heard you were doing something new here on these. That you had something new going on with pins. What's going on with your pins?
I have a bunch. I just finished the 4 Horsemen, and then I got a thank you pin for my patrons 1 year thank you for like, you know, patrons that have been around. Like that's really cool. So yeah,
we
stuff like
do
that
have a tower
happens.
mode, Twiddler. Twiddler asked about
Okay, I was just
tower
typing
mode
that
for
out, yeah.
Commander Raids,
Mm.
and
Yep.
we do indeed have a gauntlet mode. And we're working on different modes, and we're actually asking the community, like, we're not jealously guarding the format. We actually want people to contribute and make as many different, you know, like if you want it to play differently, we want house rules. We want it not to be static like most Magic formats. You know, we want people to actually come up with more creative ways and then share it in the Discord. So we want, you know, the Discord's growing at a pretty good clip. So Ed,
Yeah,
please
we're
do
over 100
join our
now.
Discord.
Incredible.
You notice what I
yeah.
got there, Ed?
Send me, you know, the link.
Yeah, down in the comment section.
Wait, if I can get to the freaking comments, I'm clicking my phone.
He's like, but I'm watching porn right now. I can't.
No, shit is.
No, that would
He's
be
pulling a Twiddler. He's
shit is frozen. On me,
he's
man.
twiddling. He's going
Yeah,
twiddling.
God, that's so
oh boy.
All right,
Well,
I gotta go, but let me get that.
Yeah, we're gonna
link
wrap up
from
here.
you in the chat.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, thanks so much again, Ed, and thanks for being a good sport about all that and watching the Commander Raids.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like that.
You know, I hopefully I'll catch more of your shows. I do my best to try. I especially love the live stuff. I mean, I watch your videos when I can, but I especially love the live stuff, and
Yeah,
I try to join them as often as I possibly can. But they've been a little all over the map lately.
Yeah, no, you know, what are you gonna do?
I got you. No, I got you. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's why you haven't
Yeah,
seen me.
no,
A lot of
no,
interest.
no.
It's just like, oh shit.
I'm not blaming anybody for anything at this point. Just
Yeah, I
trying to get
realized
back
like
into
2
things.
hours after you streamed
Yeah.
2 hours ago. I'm like, fuck. But I do try to catch them, and it's good to see you back amongst us, and you know, participating
No doubt.
again.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
thrilled to see you, and I'm thrilled to have everybody in chat with us tonight. And Prime, so much for the last couple of days. You've really been a champ, and it's been wonderful. So thank you, everybody. As bad as the era of Magic is, the people are the best in my time in Magic.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, keep kicking ass, keep doing what we can. That's all we can ask for is be diligent about what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're acting, and especially what you're buying. So
Yeah, be careful
until
with that.
next week, you know, I've been Pat, this has been Bob, and we've been so lucky to have Ed here with us. Until next time, Pure
Take
MTG.
care, guys.
Take it.